Hey everybody, welcome to Twin Cities Playtest presented by IGDATC. I did that right?
Got all the letters.
So, what is Playtest? Lane, I'm putting you on the spot.
Gotcha. Yeah, Playtest is our online playtesting event where devs can bring games that are in progress for some testing and some feedback from the audience online. And today we have four games, a few of which are from the Nice Games Club community. So very excited
Woo!
to see what Yes, yes, to see what some of them have been up to. But first, we have a really interesting team on our hands, and I'm going to introduce Sam first. Sam, why don't you tell us a little bit about your team, how you guys got to know each other, and what you have in store for us?
Cool. Basically, me and Phil and Scott all met during the Global Game Jam last year. We made a game called Couch Repair. And I think it just kind of came about because I sat down at a table. He was sitting there, and I was like, "You, what do you do?" And he's like, "I do art." And I was like, "Oh, cool. You want to do a game?" And yeah, and I in my mind, we were gonna make some sort of like co-op Overcooked type game. And then I think he just said the words like couch simulator or like couch repair or something like that. And I was like, that's kind of funny. What is that? Can we make a game out of that? And so we ended up making a really silly, yeah. Is that about right, Phil?
Yeah, that's pretty close to
Yeah.
how it went down.
Yeah.
Did
And
you know, Phil, that that day an alter ego would be born?
the couch
No,
guy.
The
I
couch
did not.
guy.
The couch
Yeah,
guy?
no,
Um,
known for furniture.
So, but you are not
yeah.
presenting a Couch Guy officially licensed game for us
Yeah, there's
today.
no
This
there's
is a
no
little
couch.
off-brand. I just
Yeah.
heard that there was no couch. So,
Yeah.
how did you go from there to what you're going to present in 5 minutes here?
Yeah, so I've had this idea for this game kind of kicking around. I mean, I think like when VR stuff first came out, I was really into this game called Space Team. I'm guessing some of you people have played it. It's a Android game that involves shouting a lot, and I wanted to make. A long time ago, I was like, I'll just make a VR version of Space Team. That'll be cool. That didn't really ever materialize, but then I also played like Keep Talking Nobody Explodes, and I was like, well, this is also awesome, and I really like the idea of a dynamic. Uh, Manual version of Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes with some fun other elements. So that was where the idea came from. I've had that in my head for a long time, but I was right after Global Game Jam, it was actually like starting to materialize just the design and the code and like a few small little bits here. So I was like, hey, Scott and Phil, you guys want to help make this game? It'll be really silly. And that's where we've been.
Well, I'm excited for Really Silly.
Yeah. So it's definitely a game I would describe probably like as like it's cooperative yelling, I guess, or there's aspects of where you're gonna have to communicate, very directly and like precisely, and there's aspects where you're all gonna be yelling kind of wildly. So the general gist of it is very similar to Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. I can go into do the quick voice tutorial whenever if you are ready for us, Lane.
Yeah, Mark, are we ready?
Yeah, we are. Now we can walk through. We have two different views here. We have a VR view and a non-VR view. We could explain it, or we could just jump in. It's up to you.
I think because there's not really a tutorial, I mean, we definitely could. There is the ability to jump in, and since Evan has an idea of what's going on, it's okay. But yeah, you know what, we could just see how it goes
So,
if you guys want to. Yeah.
so what's the name of this game?
What's that?
What's the name of the game?
The game is called Not My Vault.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, which is yeah.
Okay, we'll just find out what that means.
And
And
I
who's
mean, the general gist of the game is that you are breaking into a vault door. Evan, the VR player, is going to be, or Combonics is going to be interacting with stuff in VR, and the rest of you are going to be assisting him and instructing him from your devices. So that's the gist of the game. And I think I bet you guys can figure it out. I will say
Okay.
it's expected to kind of fail your first few. Like it's totally fine if you do.
Excited
So,
to fail.
yeah.
All right,
But now
let's
I'm
go.
going to shut up and I'm going to try and be quiet while you guys play. So go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna press the Hey Test button.
Sam, what scenarios should I run? And
Just that first one. You can go down the list. I kind of pruned these to be hopefully a slightly faster. So yeah, you can do the first one. Just do the alerts one, and that'll be good.
Okay. Am I good to hit start game here?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I'm pressing start.
Ooh,
Okay.
codes. 10
We
label
are
keys.
in a vault. I see some miscellaneous objects here. I see some puzzles that look similar to Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes-esque bomb
I-
defusal devices.
I have some codes. Can you
Yep,
tell
I've got some
me-
instructions for you.
Okay. So I think you guys cannot see my screen, in theory, right? And so I will
Correct, yeah.
describe the puzzles to you.
Oh, Sam, we should not be looking at a screen.
Yeah, the
Okay.
non-VR players should not see the screen of the
All right.
VR player.
All right. Sounds good.
Sorry,
Okay.
I should have mentioned that.
All right. I'm looking at a puzzle right now that is a 3x3 grid of squares that looks like it's got some little like cryogenic freezer tube thing shoved into them. Does anybody have a puzzle that resembles that? Instructions.
I do have a cryogenic freezer tube thing. It has like a
Okay.
little bucket handle.
Yep. That's what I'm looking at. Okay.
Okay.
What information do you need from me?
Oh, boy.
There's an alert on my screen. It says pet dog. If someone has that, do it.
Can I pet a dog?
I don't have pet dog.
Ooh,
Does anybody have that in their controls?
Oh,
I'm
under
under
controls.
light.
Yes, dog has
Yeah.
been petted.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay.
good
Thank you.
job.
All right. So in this cryogenic thing, I'm just gonna start
Yeah.
listing off stuff. I've got the left 3 boxes for column number 1 are orange with X's on them. We've got 2 purple ones on the right hand side with X's and 1 blue one with an X.
Doesn't match anything I have.
For cryogenic freezing. Okay. Handles. We've got some handle colors. There's 2 yellow handle colors, 1 white, and maybe 2 purples. Does that help you?
Two white and 1 purple? No, I don't have that.
Okay. Perhaps we should skip this puzzle and go on to another one. Or
That ID number
do you know
fourth
any
one.
other information that I need to give you? Can you give me a hint?
Okay, well, on mine, I'm seeing fuses, and I have a white circle on top and a white circle on in top middle and a white circle on bottom middle.
Set engines to 2.
Do I hear an
Engines-
omnipotent developer
engines are
voice
on 2.
coming in?
Oh, that's
Thank you,
excellent. I'm good at reading things. Pet dog.
Okay.
Uh-oh, pet dog, Anthony.
I petted it. I heard that. in
All
the
right. How
background.
about we're gonna move on to a different puzzle here. I
Okay.
see a numpad here.
I have
feature
the
count to 3.
numpad.
Set
Okay.
feature count to 3.
Okay, I think that is me. I have a knob here, and I'm going to grab the feature count and set that to 3.
Yes.
Done. Okay.
Okay.
I've got a traditional like calculator style numpad.
Okay.
here.
On that, some keys should be smudged.
Some of them should be
Or
smudged. Yes, I see.
Smudged.
I see.
Okay. Is a 0 smudged?
Yes.
Okay. Type in the code 5023.
Hey Joe, can you say that again? 50
5023.
5023.
Decline the call from mom. Somebody's
that's
getting
me.
A call. Decline it.
Decline.
Okay. 5023 has been entered.
You have
Do
to
I
hit
need
submit.
to press a button? Jill?
Wait, hold on. There were way more codes. I didn't scroll down enough. Maybe that's not right. Okay, is the
Was
one
there something? Lynn?
Submit. Here's a submit button. Should I press it? Are we ready?
is the one smut? Oh, go ahead and press it. We'll just find out.
Okay.
I
I
failed.
think that I have
That
failed.
was my fault. That was my
failed.
fault.
It's
I
okay.
didn't scroll down and see all the codes. Okay, let's go back
so
to the lobby.
the big idea of this game is that there's instructions. It is kind of this interesting design thing for me that people in the heat of the game moment don't read them, but that is basically across everybody who's play tested it. So it'll be
Okay,
interesting
well,
to see what we can do for it. But
I'm just thinking that nobody reads instructions when they're playing games.
right, but that is the whole game. It's just like in
Yeah.
Keep
It's a
Talking, Nobody
different-
Explodes. But yeah, so
it's a
you guys did
different-
fine though. I mean, for the first try.
Yeah. So I think what I've got is there's some puzzles that we've got to solve, and there's also alerts that are going off
And
that we need to like
and
complete.
other people have to complete the alerts, not just the VR trapped in a vault guy.
Correct.
Yep.
Yes.
So I think I noticed a noise kind of notification on my end when an alert happens. And then there's some red lights at the top of the screen. Sam, can you confirm that if those are our fails?
Yeah, the red lights at the top are your faults or fails,
Okay.
and on this one you get five ones, and then your successes once you complete every time you complete a module will be at the bottom of the door for you, and then for everyone else there's green dots in the top right corner that indicate success. But I bet you guys can just try that one again. Dale, your stream looks like we lost the stream, but
I can
it's not
try
the
to-
end of the world if you don't want to deal with it.
Well, here, let's see if I can redo
It looks
that.
like you
and then-
disconnected from the Discord, but
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Sam, do you want to give us clarification on that cryogenic freeze tube puzzle, or should we just try and figure it out?
Lane had all the instructions you need, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Totally might be. In a way that I don't know yet, but we'll discover together.
All right.
Would love to know what you're seeing. I feel like going through that process one time would help out a lot. But we'll see if we can do it.
Yeah. And in general, Lane, at the top of for all the non-VR players, at the top of each module instruction set is just like the goal. I mean, there's a little summary of the overall goal of what you're trying to do, and then below that is the information on what you need to do. Hopefully condensed as much as possible, but you just I would spend time reading all that before diving. Well, when you get started, and give it a shot.
And then those yellow those alerts that come up. And by the way, feel free to start at any time. But the yellow alerts that come up, can those come up on any page, or should we be hopping between pages to make sure we catch those?
Sorry, say that one more time.
The do or die alerts that pop up, the things to say you got to go disappoint your dad, those sorts of things.
Yep.
Do those appear on all screens,
so the alert itself is only going to appear on one person's screen, and they got to tell.
Okay.
So they don't know who has that control. It might be on their own screen. It might be on someone else's screen. So you gotta shout it out, basically.
Perfect. Love it.
Yep.
All
So
right.
if you get an event or an alert and you don't have that control on your little controls area, you got to yell.
I think
All
we're
right,
set.
Cool.
We're ready to start?
Got
All
it.
right, starting in
Yes.
3, 2, 1, going. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So, Lane, let's start
All
with
right.
the numpad
Numpad.
puzzle.
Perfect.
Okay. I see some smudge buttons. They are 7, 4, 2, and 6.
Okay. I am reading about how that's relevant now.
Okay. Set the engines to 3. Do or die alert. Somebody needs to set engines to 3. Okay.
Engines.
While you were working on figuring out that puzzle, I
Did
see
you say 7326?
7426.
7426. Thank you.
Okay. Disappoint. Okay, disappoint dad. I think we have failed the alert. But second alert, disappoint dad. Someone needs to do it.
I don't have
Okay, I have the code for you.
Okay.
Dad has been disappointed. It is 4762.
Okay, I'm entering 4762 and submit.
Yes.
Eat
Okay.
all of the chocolate. Someone must eat all
Oh,
the
that's me. That's
chocolate.
me. I've eaten the chocolate.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Good job.
Next puzzle. We've got the little cryogenic freeze 3x3
Ah.
grid.
2 by
Who
3.
has got the controls for that one?
I'm guessing that those are supposed to be fuses. And so if you
Oh,
have a
okay.
2 by 3
Fuses.
grid, that's the 6th slot. So my goal is to get orange into orange, and you cannot put orange fuses into purple things, and you cannot put blue into blue things. So,
Okay. Do you need my colors that I've got here then?
yes, let's go with
I
that.
see a hole that is purple with no fuse in it.
Okay. So, do you have a? Oh, you do not know what color the fuse is until you pull it out. So go ahead
Right.
and pull out a fuse. And then
Pull
tell
out a
me-
fuse, any fuse. Okay. I'm
Yep.
pulling out a fuse from an orange
Okay.
Square.
Okay. And the fuse color is orange?
The fuse color looks to be orange, yes.
Okay, you can't put that in the purple one.
I cannot set it in purple.
No. That's the
Okay.
only empty one? So just put that back and pick a different one.
Okay. I am going to pull out a fuse from a.
Evan, you have to lock it. You have to
Oh, there we
push
go.
it back.
Set
the one
hydrogen
you,
to
you want the one
3.
you just put
Oh,
in.
the one I did.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
that's-
you.
Somebody needs to set hydrogen to 3.
I think that's you, Anthony.
That's me. That's me. I've got hydrogen
no,
to
I'm
3.
Ooh, we're good.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
So
okay.
we don't. All right, here we go. There's one from a blue square, but the
Okay.
handle of this fuse is kind of yellow.
Somebody needs to solve homelessness.
Oh,
Okay.
easy. Done
You can
that.
put
Thank
that
you.
in the purple slot.
Stick the one from the blue and the purple.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we might have failed.
Did that not
I
work?
think that it's the fuse handle color, not the
Okay.
background square. So,
Okay.
what do we put purple into purple fuse slot?
That's okay. The main goal is to get an orange fuse into an orange fuse slot.
An orange fuse into orange.
Yep. But then
Okay,
there.
so I'm gonna put a purple into purple, and
Yep.
I'm gonna take out this orange. Here's an orange one.
Okay. Is
I'm
there?
gonna stick that in the orange.
Okay.
That made
Oh.
a good noise.
Yep.
That's another
Okay.
green light.
Good job.
Set euros to 3. Set euros to 3.
That one's me.
Oh.
Not. That's confusing euros.
Yep.
Okay. I've got another
Nice.
puzzle
Oh.
here.
Set laser defenses to 2.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
assuming
me.
the other puzzle you got is eyeballs and appendages.
Yes, it is a
Right.
triangle-shaped alien face with 2 eyeballs, a triangle nose, and a vampire mouth.
All right, so you
And
need
then
a
you can-
tentacle with red eyes.
You can slide that out, Evan, if you grab the handle. Also.
Wow.
And set slider to 2. To somebody has that control.
That just says slider.
Got it. Yep, slider on 2.
I found a tentacle. Okay.
Okay.
An alien octopus-looking tentacle. And
Yep.
what else do we need?
And red eyeball.
All right, red eyeball.
I think
That
just
looks like a
one.
green eyeball. That looks like a reddish orange. Okay.
For viewers wondering what's going on, we have the VR view is a little frozen right now, so you can't see what's happening there.
Oh, is it? Oops.
It's not, it's
Oh,
not, it's not
no.
frozen for me.
Yeah, it's just a case of we got to sit it through. There's no troubleshooting options. You just gotta
Defund
wait
the
for Discord to
police.
figure it out.
Oh, that's me.
Whoa. All right.
It's a button.
So, do I put these objects inside of the laptop? Oh, it looks like they scan if I put them on.
Yeah, scan them.
Okay. I've scanned one at a time here.
There's no other instructions.
Oh,
so I
and
hope that's it.
Evan, the eyeball scanner is a separate thing in the top.
Okay.
Right of that.
Vent the gas. Vent the gas.
Oh, that's me.
Someone needs to vent the gas.
Vented. Uh-oh. That wasn't
My
me.
goodness.
Was that my failure or someone not venting the gas?
I vented the gas.
Set hacking power to 2. Oh, that looks like that's me. Okay.
That face does have 2 eyeballs on the top and a
Yeah,
triangle.
2
nose,
eyeballs
you
in the
said,
very
right?
corner and they're oval.
Yeah, and the face points down. Yeah, okay.
Face points down. Yep.
Yeah, it says appendage type tentacle and eye color red.
Okay.
And you have to scan a correct eyeball and appendage on the scanner. And was that the failure from scanning them? Maybe was it
Yeah,
different?
Evan, that eye is not red.
Is orange. I am colorblind. We have a green eye and a red
Yeah,
eye.
that's a problem. Green. No, you have another one somewhere.
Okay, okay. I have another eyeball. If I could just see.
Oh,
I
I'm
have
glad
what?
I have that one.
This
Yeah.
sounds like
I'm
the
not
most
getting it.
interesting
be
thing to
in the
watch.
Door, Evan.
Okay, okay. I'm frantically looking in the door.
Yeah,
Oh, here we go, here we
27
go. This eyeball is very red, not orange. Okay, I'm scanning the eyeball again.
Great
Good
job!
job, you did it.
We did
Did
it.
it.
Yay!
Thank you, team.
Okay, let's do it
you.
again.
We got that one pretty quickly. I feel like we could ratchet this up a little bit.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
anything harder?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I think that you guys got to the point where everything was coming together. So
Awesome.
Thank you for
That's
the
usually how it works.
help on the
in
color
first
blind.
couple few things. Yeah, I'm sorry. That is the eye colors, and some of the color things are things that I need to do a pass on for color blindness stuff, and it's in the plan. That's why the fuses are like colors that are supposedly good for color blindness, but then they don't really glow as much. It's a whole thing, you know.
Yeah.
Colors are a whole thing.
I think it might be just amplified by the HMD screen or the headset screen not being.
Just watching the two of you try to solve that fuse puzzle, you were both looking at the colored light strips on the handle and the color on the very end of the fuse, and that was the correct color, but it was so bright, or so desaturated rather, that neither of you understood that those were even colors.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's not. I mean, color, accuracy and making sure that there's a colorblind appropriate hues is one thing, but there's also just general signposting that I think.
I will say,
and you'll be surprised what people don't get that seems obvious.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm sitting there like I'm figuring out right away, but I'm not in the heat of the moment, right? So
yeah. It is also like in theory there is some hinting in terms of like in the instructions, and then there's some hint like screenshots, but actually the screenshots are out of date, so that's also part of it. You might it does still seem like on the stream that Evan's screen is like being really weird. You could try like just stopping watching and watch it again. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's very smooth on my screen.
Should I stop streaming?
No,
it's okay.
You're fine.
No, it's just
now it's good. Yeah,
it's just you just rattle Discord and click things until it resets it. That's all you gotta do. So it's working now, but it'll if it fails again, I'll fiddle with it. Don't worry about it.
One thing that I have noticed, maybe Lane, if you switch to doing just 30 frames a second, 720p, I have noticed that there are weird things that are problematic when one person is streaming at a different resolution frame rate than everyone else.
You got it. I ended up being a different frame rate than everybody.
Oh yeah. Right now you're sharing at 1080p, 60 FPS. And
let's not do that. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
maybe that'll help. I don't know.
Okay. So say again what I'm supposed to be streaming at.
You got it.
Then I did perfect. Good. Good job, me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right.
So Sam, what am I selecting now for scenarios?
Do the next one. Just I think is the next one like
hot cold.
Or you could, I guess you could, if you want to be fancy, you could jump up to rolls just for funsies.
We're skipping
that's more fun. Yeah. This one, so basically there will be a thing on your rolls. I think that on this one there's actually only a communicator and a hacker. But for the hacking stuff, Evan, there'll be some locked cabinets, and there'll be on your left wrist. This is not explained in the game, which is why I'm telling you this. But on your left wrist, there'll be like a little spot you can grab a hacking tracer off of, and you just can slap it on the locked cabinets, and then whoever has the hacker roll will be able to hack that open. So, yeah.
That sounds great.
Cool. So yeah, feel free to start whenever.
I am starting. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. I'm in a vault, similar looking vault. I now have a 3-number combination lock, like one of those locks that gets your bicycle stolen.
Okay, don't change any of them.
Okay.
It says you cannot change the locks directly themselves. Each link to a control on one of your specialist screens, a slider or a dial. Is that something that you have a specialist screen?
Yeah, I see some sliders and dials over here. Oh, alert. Set emotional stability to 5.
Oh, it's all the way, baby.
Okay. That actually just changed the dial.
Okay, which dial did it change?
It changed dial number 1, which is an alien face underneath it, and that changed it to 5 when the alert happened. So I think that you guys might have control over the dials.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh. So it must be those.
So emotional stability is one of those. Is the left one?
Oh, that was
yes. Yeah. Number 1, alien leftmost. Okay. Yeah. That just changed to 4.
Why don't we work on another puzzle while other things pop up and we can find what the other dials are?
Okay. I'm seeing the same smudged button keypad.
Yeah. Feel free to read off the ones that are smudged.
All right. 7960.
7960. Okay, I've got the number for you. It is 609 and then 7.
609 7.
What a wizard.
Smit. Okay, perfect.
Warning, prepare for alerts. Push full door. That's me, I got it. Print
visual angle to 5.
documents.
Euros
visual
to
angle
2.
to 5.
Print documents.
Activate
has-
warp drive.
Who has print documents?
Documents. Printed.
Set Euros
Thank
to
you.
2. Euros
Okay.
to 2.
Visual angle to 5.
Push button.
Activate warp drive.
Okay, warp drive activated.
Push
Set IP
button.
number to 5.
IP number
Push
is
button.
5. Solve the homelessness. Somebody, please do something about this issue.
Oh, it's solved.
Set Contaminam to 5.
Set hyperflanger to 3.
Spectral transmittance to 3.
Okay.
All right.
Hyperflanger at 3.
Dials too?
Yeah,
Set
one of the
IP
dials changed
number
to
to
6.
1.
Set what to 1?
IP number to 1.
Oh, done. Okay, got it. Whew, that was quite a burst.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
we just
we're
missed
going.
something.
It said ignore what I am saying.
No, you're supposed to ignore it. That's what you're supposed to do. But there's a button.
Oh,
I was too busy ignoring it. Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So one of the rightmost dial changed to a 6.
do you know what one changed it?
I don't. It was in the middle of those shout out alerts. Ooh,
It
print the
changed to a
documents.
6.
I've got that.
Okay, well, let's keep an eye on it.
All right. None of my stuff is at a 6. Do you want me to change something?
All right. On to the fuse puzzle.
Okay.
I've got an empty purple hole.
Okay.
and I
How
have,
much do you have? You have 6 fuse holes?
I have 6 total fuse holes.
Okay.
1 is empty, so 5 fuses.
Okay. So our goal is to get the orange fuse into the blue
Push the
hole.
pole door, please.
Oh, that's
Push
me.
pole door.
Done. Okay.
All right, what's our goal?
Orange into blue.
Orange into blue. Okay.
Yep. What's open?
So there's a white one in the blue. Can I remove it?
Yes.
Okay. It has been
And you-
removed.
Okay, and you can put that anywhere.
Okay. It's going to go into purple. Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna go with
I
that
think
wasn't white.
This is definitely a place where the colors are bad. But yeah, the think of white as blue and
Oh,
just one. Yeah, it's not good. And it's definitely. I think I must have changed something. I'm not sure why, because it used to be much more readable. But so something is weird with the colors. But the more like it's very a whitish blue, and then the
Okay.
orange is orangey. But yeah,
is there a white and a blue?
no,
It-
it's,
okay,
it's
so there's
white.
just-
It's blue, orange, and kind of purple.
Blue, orange,
Okay.
and purple.
so there's
All
only
right.
3 colors.
Yeah. But
Should
you
we
guys,
give that
you
one
guys are really
another go?
close on that one. Yeah.
Okay, going again.
All right.
Oh yeah, super ready.
Going. All right. Let's go straight to this fuse puzzle. Get this
Okay.
All
done.
right, I'm on it. I'm on the fuses. All right. To be fair though, I don't know what the fuses are, so give me some time to read. Go to somebody else, please.
Okay. Ooh, we have 2 smudge button keypads.
All right, I have that. So I guess what are the smudges?
1, 2, 5, 9.
Set Contaminam and Pam to 3.
Kanan and Pam set to 3.
Yeah. Good job.
1, 2, 5. Okay, yeah. So the code is 2915.
2, 9, 1, 5. Submit. Okay, that is
Good job.
lowered one of the bars to the vaults. We have a second smudge. 7, 8, 9, 6.
Okay, 9768.
9, 7, 6, 8. Submit. Okay, we've lowered a second vault.
And now you're back to me. Okay, good.
Okay, I'm back to you.
Gigawatts to 5.
Okay, so goal number 1 is to get one of those whitey bluey ones.
Hold on. What goes to 5? What goes to 5?
Gigawatts.
Okay,
Well, that's
I don't
me.
have that one.
Gigawatts
Okay.
to 5.
We've got some blues, an empty blue
Yep.
hole.
Okay, cool. Take like
Okay.
what we
Okay.
need to do. The goal
Lane.
is to get one of the whitey bluey ones
Set knob
into
to
a
3.
purple
Set
What's
knob
that, Dale?
to 3. Set knob to 3.
knob to 3.
I don't
Okay.
have that.
Also, how many fuse holes are there?
There's one empty hole. 1, 2, 3, 4,
total.
5.
Are there 6?
There's
Set
8 total
gyros.
fuses.
Okay,
Set
make
gyros to 3.
Got it. There's 8 fuses, or 8 fuse holes.
so
one
Lane,
is
make sure
empty.
you're reading the right one. 'cause
Set
you might have
gyros to 4. Sorry, set gyros to 4.
Okay, done.
I got number lexic for a second there. Okay, so the goal is you want to get the whitey bluey one into the purple hole.
And that's for the 8 fuses?
And
Yeah,
the
is that for 8 hole
restrictions.
fuses? Because okay.
Okay, eight holes.
Yes.
Sorry, okay.
Scroll down.
Gotcha. Now I understand. All right, so yeah, the goal is to get a purple into a orange, and the
Okay.
restrictions are you can't put an orange
button
in
to
a whitey
2.
blue, and you can't put a whitey blue into a purple.
Button
sorry, what was
to
the alert?
2. Button to 2.
Button to
Bronze?
2.
Thank you.
Sorry, what is going to 2?
It's done.
A button was going into.
Okay.
It's already done.
So, oh my gosh, I totally lost my train of thought.
Okay,
we're
pet the
putting
dog.
what in-
Pet the dog.
I got
Oh.
that.
Okay.
Okay,
dog
perfect.
has
Turning something
pet.
into orange, right? Something
Yes. Purple. The purpley boy goes into the orange.
Okay.
And then what you want to watch out for is you can't put an orange into a whitey blue, and then whitey blue can't go into the purple.
Oh my god. Okay. Can white go into
Ignore
blue?
what I am saying.
White can go
Somebody
into blue.
press-
Yes.
Done.
Okay, so I'm going to stick this fuse in here. All right, and I can remove a purple and put it into an orange. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Eat all chocolate. Alert.
Done.
Okay, so I have a purple into the orange,
Yep.
and the puzzle has not been solved yet.
Oh, my bad. There are 7 slots. Is that correct, or are there 8?
So there's 8.
8.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Retire to the breach. There's 8 slots. Yeah, 7 fuses.
Okay.
There are multiple purple ones.
There are multiple purple ones. This is true.
Oh, move all fuses of the correct color. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, all of those
purples
purples.
into oranges.
Yeah.
Okay. Can orange go into purple?
Orange can indeed go into purple.
Okay, so I'm
Oh,
gonna
set
remove
number
the
of
orange.
paws
I'm
to
gonna stick it
4.
into purple.
4 paws.
Set what to 4, Dale?
Number of paws.
Oh, I got that. Done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Awesome.
for being loud.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought again. We're taking out a purple and we're going in orange. Here it comes.
Yeah, all purples to orange. All purples to orange.
We
Great
did
job. You did it.
Go
So that
team.
That was sad because it didn't have the rolls. I think so. Unfortunately, right now when you go back to the lobby, I think because I messed with something, it doesn't reset a scenario. So go ahead and go back to the lobby really quick, Evan.
Okay.
You just have to make sure you select, I guess, another thing.
Oh, did we do the first?
Yeah,
level
you
again?
just did that one.
Oh,
again.
that was my bad.
But
Restart the
do
game.
item manager though, because yeah, that'll be more interesting. You guys,
So-
it'll have most of the mechanics, not all the mechanics, but it'll be a nice demo of most of the mechanics, and then we can decide after that. You guys can decide if we need to switch games.
Okay, so just a
I don't
note
want to
there.
take up too much of the time.
I did not get any instructions on that because we
Yeah,
had
that
2
one was
keypads.
bad. That one was because that was like it shouldn't do that in theory, but that was
Okay.
definitely a bug, and it was the easiest scenario right now, and so because it reset back, I think it should.
Yeah,
be
that
good
was my
now.
fault. I redid the first scenario instead of reselecting.
That's
so.
okay. I enjoyed shouting things at people.
Yeah. Cool.
All
I
right.
enjoyed winning. Okay, I'm gonna go to item manager. Are we all ready?
Anthony, you have to
Yes.
click on back to lobby probably.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. You're
I'm
good.
ready now.
Cool.
Okay. Does Lane need a
Yeah,
light?
no, it's fine. It's a bug.
good.
It's a bug that you can start. Yeah, he's ready.
Starting game. All right.
Okay.
Oof, lots of puzzles. Should we start with familiar ones?
Sure.
We have 2 smudges. Smudges are
Okay,
4,
I got
1, 2, 6.
4, 1, 2, 6. Okay, hold on.
And our fuses, we have 7 fuse slots.
7 fuse slots. Okay.
7
You want
fuse
to
slots.
get the good old white blue into the purple,
Okay.
and I got a couple of restrictions for you if you're ready.
All right. I
First,
have a
set
white
IP number to 2.
IP number.
Set what to 2?
IP number.
Oh, that's me. It is at 2.
Thank you.
Okay, so I've got a white that I can just take out and put into the purple right now.
Oh, you darn well better do that. We're talking about 7 here, right?
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6, 7. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. Wow.
Warning, prepare
done.
for alerts. Push
Speed
pull
your
door.
counter to 6. Economy to 6.
Push
Sequel
pull
count to 4.
door. Push pull
Sequel.
door.
Touch pull. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Y'all
Set
better vent that
gigawatts
gas.
to
Sequel to
4.
Sequel count to 4. Dial set to 5. Set sequel count to 4.
Vent gas, vent gas.
Express emotions.
Gigawatts to 4.
Vent the gas.
Emotions are
Gigawatts
expressed. Clear
to-
my criminal record, please.
Defund the
yep.
police.
From mom.
Decline. Defund
Set button to
police.
3. Set button to 3.
Hydrogen
Eject
1.
passengers.
Defund police.
Done. Decline call from mom.
Declined.
Hydrogen to 1. 3 seconds. Hydrogen to 1. Oh, that's me. That's me. Ah. Okay. Whew.
Whew.
All right. We have 3 minutes remaining here. All right.
Okay.
All right, we
Back
got
to
this.
The smudge puzzle. 4126.
Okay, the code is 6241.
6241. Smith.
Warning, prepare for alerts.
So
Okay, your
alert.
next smudge, by the way, is going to be 8913.
Set
Okay.
IP number to 4.
Express emotions.
Vent gas.
Dial
Set
to
button
3.
to
Gigawatts
5.
to 3.
Set button
Set
to
feature
5.
count to 4.
Sequel to 3.
Sequel to 3.
Push pull door. Prepare for alerts. Gigawatts to 4.
Hydrogen to
Gas.
3.
Set dial to 1.
Hydrogen to 3.
Set IP number to 5. Oh, that's me.
Vent the gas. Vent the gas.
Defund the police.
Economy to 6.
Eject
Clear
passengers.
Clear my
Set gigawatts to 4. Gigawatts to 4, please.
Defund police.
clear my criminal record.
Hydrogen to 1. Oh,
Button to 2.
Decline
Clear-
call from mom.
express
Decline.
emotions.
Set I. Oh, that's mine again.
Dial to
Economy
4.
to 0.
Button to
Economy
2.
0.
Button to 2.
Okay, okay. While you're figuring out the other push button puzzle, I think we've got a new one. It says internal security system status, and there's
Yeah, we all
3
need
red
to do
things.
that one. So you have to pick up the drill and point it at the vault door, and then we all need to look at our controls panel, the specialists anyways, which I assume the
I have a
non-tech, right?
button that says door drill.
All right, I am searching for the drill.
Oh, I have to send it.
It looks like a little yellow thing. Somebody
Is
has
that
to
the
vent
thing
gas.
coming out of my wrist? I think
Oh.
maybe. Sam gave me a.
Yes,
This is
send
the drill,
it.
Sam. I know you told me ahead of time.
That is
but
the hacking tracer.
That's the hacking tracer. Okay.
It's not a drill. It's just.
It looks like an orange cylinder with a button on the back, or like a
Orange.
lightsaber hilt.
All right. Let me see. Last time there was stuff in this cart, but I only see a piece of paper.
Across the room.
You got those cabinets.
Yeah, the cabinets are.
Yeah, that's correct. They're
Locked
locked.
and do
They
not
sure, they
open.
sure are.
Okay. Okay.
What
We
do
have
you
some locked
what do you-
cabinets.
what do you have to unlock it?
I have a hacking tool, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Okay. Does anyone have instructions for hacking?
Is it in the roll? There you
Ooh,
go.
yeah, I do. Oh wait, I am a hacker. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow.
Well, we have 37 seconds to figure this out.
What is this game? This is freaking cool. Yes, I am so elite.
Oh, you
Lane,
you almost
not
got
quite
it.
there.
You
How do I
almost got
stop? Oh my goodness, please.
Oh, it's open.
you.
Oh, you opened up a piece of trash.
Did I? Well,
Hack
okay, we're doing the next one. Easy.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's empty. You
Oh,
failed.
no.
Hack the final one.
Oh.
13 seconds.
There we go.
It's
Let's
also
go.
empty.
Easy.
Dale, you can only send one item at a time, so the
Oh, okay.
whole area has to be clear of except for one item. And the little blue.
Oh,
it's gone.
too late.
Yeah, the instructions on the item manager, I probably should have said something on that, but you guys are
That's
very
okay.
close to getting it done.
Oh
Wait.
my goodness. Do we have time? Will Bit allow us to take a little bit of his time here and do one more round? Because that was fantastic.
Yeah, this is when everything starts coming together a little bit.
Yeah.
So I do have a little bit of feedback on that, like the way that the pacing on that round went.
Yeah.
It started out with a bunch of familiar things, and then you kind of all switched gears to the new stuff. It
Yeah,
did feel-
okay.
Is that something does those rounds always go that way, or is it just depends on how you approach it?
We jumped ahead a little bit. There, in theory, it's supposed to introduce some of the stuff more gradually, but I just wanted there to be some of the more unique roles.
No, I don't mean like too much. I mean that like the hacking and the toolbox and like all the new things, and then there were no old things mixed in with it, right? In terms
There was
of
actually there was a
in
lot of
theory,
old
all the
things. I I started with all the old puzzles.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting
started.
at. Is that players will probably do that, right? They will do all the familiar things before addressing any of the new things.
Yeah, that's
right?
probably true. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
And so
might
it
be
kind of feels like
interesting.
two separate rounds. Like it's sort of player designed. Like the player is designing
Yeah.
two separate rounds. And so that could be maybe a little bit frustrating to be introduced to something when your time is maybe half out or something, or the second time you try, like, oh, we do better this time, but then you get the easy stuff done much quicker, and then you have way more time than you expected. Or the easy stuff you don't get done quite as fast, and then on your second go around you have even less time to figure out the new stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean this is a game that like you are meant to like eventually learn the modules pretty well, such that you don't have to like read them as much anymore. Like kind of like, I mean like in Keep Talking Nova Explodes and all those and other games like there's somewhere like there's like a learning period where like people still are trying to just generally figuring out how to do each puzzle and like what you're
How
supposed
to
to do.
communicate
And then there's a
it.
part where you get kind of comfortable and you get to know those things, and then the challenge becomes time management and like puzzle management and being able to do a lot of things at once and being able to properly communicate things while you're being interrupted and stuff and such. So it's really hard to make sure that everyone like it's really boring to very gradually introduce stuff when there's like 3 people. I mean, like I can definitely try and make and introduce like we do these two modules, and then the next level we do 2 other modules, and then the next one we add one thing, and like that is something that is doable.
Yeah.
But it's the pacing is something that we definitely struggle with, and sometimes I also question whether or not it's necessarily a problem, because I think that failure is okay. And like I mean, when I think back to when I was learning Keep Talking, like there's definitely multiple times when you're like, I don't even know what we're supposed to be doing there, and like
Right. I guess my feedback isn't so much about like. Yeah, I mean, I think people should get it wrong a couple times. I think I like the way that's, at least with this group, I like the way that nobody felt too invested. So when their failures came up, it wasn't so frustrating. Once they got good at it, that's about the exact time they got invested in their success. So that feels really dead on. Just from watching this one group in this one round, so I can't say that tracks or scales, but I think that's really well calibrated. But I think my feedback on the new batch of things is I would suggest giving people a couple of things, maybe introduce 1 or 2 in like the first couple levels, but then say in this level, just throw out all the old stuff and give them only new stuff, and then after that combine the old and new stuff.
Yeah, I think that once I have more modules too, that'll be easier to do. But since right now there's actually technically only 5 modules and 2 roles. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like it's harder to split that stuff up and give someone. I try and trickle in one new thing each time, but it is an interesting thought. I haven't really thought to like do 100% new things. So maybe if I get up to a nice module count once we have a little bit more content, that would be something that would be much more easy to do. Since then, there's like a whole learning period, and how
players will approach going from 2 to 3 modules is very different than how they'll approach from going from 7 to 8 modules.
Oh yeah.
Right. In terms of like, and I guess that's what playtesting is for, is to see those differences, right?
Oh yeah. No, but it's definitely good feedback, because I feel like that's something. The observation that everyone does all those stuff like that they know first. I mean, it makes like so much sense.
Yeah.
but also it's not ideal, and like ideally
I probably should have started on the other ones. I mean, ideally as a group we probably work in parallel. Yeah. So should we try one more?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Item manager again, or everything?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you could try everything.
Let's see this team on all cylinders. Let's do it.
Okay.
Everything. We're gonna do everything. Okay, I'm going to start with all new stuff. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, here it comes.
Oh God.
I'm gonna. All right, here we go. Now that I know about these hacking discs, I'm throwing the hacking discs on right away.
There's less time. What?
Okay.
Oh, only 3 minutes. Okay. The hacking discs are on.
Okay.
I see 2 dial cylinders. I see, one dial cylinder, smudge button, and alien puzzle.
Okay.
So the alien puzzle looks like a triangle that is face up. An eyeball.
So I think
2 upward cat whisker things and kind of like a lipstick mouth.
I have no idea what that means, but I know I have an alien on the combination line.
Getting up to 5.
I don't know what I have.
I think I'll throw out here, Anthony, is
Okay, I
you
don't
technically
have
have 2 instructions. If you go to your instructions tab, there's a little
Oh,
button in the
thank
bottom
you.
right. It's not obvious. That's something that will
Okay,
change.
read
but
me.
yeah.
Yeah, that's me again. That's the scanner. I did not see that. What's that face again?
It is
Okay.
a triangle that is upright.
Right. Okay, tentacle
a-
and blue eye.
Okay. Eyeball. Okay, I think we need to unlock and hack some things to get the blue eyeball. If someone is working on
Okay.
that.
Oh, yeah, I have a hacker thing. I don't know how hacking works.
Okay.
But I'm very excited to try it out.
So.
You guys set a Glurkenspock to 2, please.
Ooh.
Set that Glurkenspock.
Okay. The keypads are no longer smudged. I see
Dale, that might
numbers
be
kind of intermittently highlighting.
Glurkenspock to 2?
Oh,
Smudged or faded.
oh, I have Glurkenspock.
Invent
Sorry,
an
I
alibi.
missed it.
Invent an alibi for me, please.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
are there
me.
any of those
I got
keys
that.
faded instead of smudged?
I guess maybe they are. Oh, here we go. There's actually a force field in front of this. That's why I can't see them. They are slightly smudged. It looks like 2098 are smudged.
Defund
But I
the
need
police.
someone to break this force field.
Defund the police.
Did we say a blue eyeball is what was needed here?
I'll double check. Yes.
All right, I'm scanning.
Dale is saying defund the police if you guys haven't done that.
Okay, that
Okay,
has
they
worked, and
are
we've
good.
unlocked one. Set visual angle to 4. That's me. Okay. So, does anyone know how to break through a force field panel to both of these puzzles? I think maybe more hacking.
I'd
I'm
guess.
working on hacking stuff now.
We
Hold
have
on.
another hack that needs to happen on a locked cabinet.
Okay, working on it.
I don't know. I have a communicator, but I don't know what that is.
This is definitely okay.
Wayne, just for your knowledge, you can send an item by putting it into the green zone, but it has to be the only item in that green zone.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah,
I
so
found
this is
it.
something that there needs to be more tutorialization on because and you gotta
Okay.
make sure there's like nothing in that there you go.
So
Ooh, I found
the
a drill
Right.
also, and there are yeah,
So
you sent me a
said-
drill. Okay, I think I've got one of those.
Okay,
All right.
Cool.
the combination
different, though?
lock needs to say 235.
Oh, what goes to 5?
The combination lock, the code for the combination lock is 235. So just keep that in mind.
It's 235.
Yep.
We have 30 seconds.
Are you holding that green drill right now? Right there.
I-
Go a little closer. No, you're too far.
oh, here we go.
Closer, a little bit closer. A little bit closer. There. Oh, no.
There.
No.
Oh.
We might be a little bit delayed. Move slow. It keeps snapping away. You were at it a couple times.
There's not it's pretty on
There.
the ball. There you go.
I think maybe you moved too
dropped
far
him.
away from it.
I'm seeing that you're meant to attach those in the order blue, red, green, if that makes sense.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Ah.
Oh, you
we really
if I
ramped
remember
up
reading it, we were supposed to activate it in that order, but you attach them in any order. Is that how it works?
That's correct. Yep, you can attach them in any order.
Yeah. And then once you attached it, I saw my button light up, activate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys were close. I mean, that was a lot to go because you
Yeah,
guys
that was
still
a lot to
haven't
jump to
done the
everything,
combination lock or the
Yes.
the drill module. So like,
Yeah.
you haven't successfully done one of those, so it makes sense. And you had like 3 less minutes, I think, because I think it's 4 minutes.
That's
So,
a particularly
yeah.
good test of because they jump so far ahead. Just to like, this will be good for you to review later to see how a team who knows how this game works and now has expectations about how this game works.
Oh, yeah.
How a team like that learns a new thing in the game. Early on, they don't really know how the game works, and so a lot of the thing you can kind of there's tutorials or like they just need to spend a while with it. But I think that's a really good test of seeing like the thought processes that they've now been trained to engage in when they have something that's brand new to them. All at
Yeah,
once.
this was definitely like a very short. Like I cut out a lot of some of the more boring and slower missions just because I knew that we would have less time. So that's why it starts at like 2 and stuff. But we did have
No easy
one
wins
really
for this
crazy. We had one like really amazing playtest group that was just like they had clearly been like played and like beaten, keep talking nobody explodes, and they'd also like were really good at like Space Team. So they got to the ending thing and were just demolishing it. Like they did that last mission, I think, in like under 3 minutes or something. And every time one of those like alert storms came, like they would like just it was insane how fast they would clear it. Like because it's just a set number of alerts. I think it like does like 20 or something like that, or like 4 per player or something like that. And they would just like knock it out in like under 10 seconds, like and then just get right back to it. It is really cool
Better
to
than
see
the
like a
dev.
super
Yeah.
super coordinated team.
Uh-huh.
But it does take away. I think I mean that was after them like learning things a little bit more slowly. Um,
Was that group
yeah.
in person or
No, it was
remote?
online. Everything we've done so far has been
Okay.
online. I mean, originally in my thinking was that this would be a game where one player would like, or you play it like in the same room, and then the other people would be on their phones.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I was going to mention that because especially when you have that alert storm, everybody
mhm.
yelling over each other is almost impossible in
Oh yeah,
Discord, right?
yeah,
It could change, and it probably, I mean, changing it from getting everything done in 10 seconds, I'm impressed that they did
Yep.
it if it was over
Yeah.
Discord.
I think there are strategies you can use, but yeah, I agree. One thing that I have never heard of, I did not consider this as an option, but one guy told me that when he had like an alert with if he had like the like disappoint dad button on his and he got an alert for disappoint dad, like if it was his alert, he would just like wait and he wouldn't say anything, but he would use that as like a opportunity to not like pollute stuff because he could just like let it run to almost be done and then hit the button. And I had never thought of that as like a strategy, but it made so much sense and I was really impressed.
Yeah, yeah. Do you get fewer of those if you let them run to term? Like it seemed like
No,
during the storms.
it's not
Yeah, go
time
ahead.
based. It's just like a number of alerts. So like in theory, like if one person was solving, like if you solved one person's really fast, like they would solve more alerts than like the other people who like let it go. But it is like it just adds like 4 alerts per player or 5 alerts per player to like a
Mhm.
queue. And when you complete an alert, it just sends out another one right away. So
Right. So you could do it
yeah,
slow if you want to be organized, but then you're wasting time, right?
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like that main and one thing I mentioned in the chat too is that it does like a rudimentary calculation of how well you're doing, and it will not trigger one of those alert storms if you're like down to the wire. Like if you have one module left and you have like 30 seconds, or like basically if you're like behind, it won't give you one of those. But if you're like doing really well, it will guarantee to give you one.
Yeah.
So
That's
there's
really
some
cool.
stuff that like is a little bit of a dynamic difficulty that can scale a little bit, but yeah.
We got some Left 4 Dead director in it.
5-ish minute warning because we do want to get to the next
Yeah,
game.
no,
Were there
absolutely.
any key questions that you'd like to ask for us?
My biggest struggle is how much failure and like I definitely like in these playtests that we have done, not just this one but other ones, like I definitely struggle with not. It's hard to know like will they figure something out and should I just shut up or should I give them a hint? And I feel like I've leaned towards giving a hint probably more often than I should, but that is like one of the things I definitely struggle with, and I'm kind of curious like were you guys at any point like frustrated to the point where like you didn't even want to try again?
No,
No.
the thing that brought me closest was just when there was for one of the puzzles, which was the like the thing where you take an object from one place and plug it into a different one, the spark plug one. That one was a bit of a wall of text.
Yeah.
But like when I understood that I could direct him to another person to talk to for a while, immediately the frustration went away.
Hmm.
And if anything, it became titrated the other way, where it was too boring. Like there was just too little to do as a interface person, until we got to item manager, at which point the balance became, I thought, pretty close to perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and that's in theory that is like the idea behind like the roles and the and stuff is like that it's ideally keeping everyone involved, even like because one of the things if you played Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is like
Mhm.
the way we always did it is like each person would kind of have like their modules that they were specialists at, and then
Mm.
when those are done, they would just kind of sit there. Um,
Mhm.
and so I kind of want to, yeah, I definitely want to try to keep everyone involved, but it is really hard when you're trying to still teach it. That's something I definitely
Yes.
like have been struggling with is like when you are trying to not overwhelm at them, there's still like a possibility that it might be really boring for some players. Like I think the very first, like the first level I have is like there's not even any alerts. That it's just solving the puzzles.
Mhm.
And I had feedback from some people saying that was really boring, like, or like one person
Uh-huh.
just like felt like they just sat there and did nothing. I don't want that either.
You know what
So
you could do is you could have as a sort of a teacher friends mode where before the game starts, every player can choose which modules they're assigned, and it's essentially cheating. But like you can do that in advance as a way to like everyone can learn it at their own pace, or someone who's experienced in the game, or 3 people who are experienced and 1 person who's not. That 1 person who's not, you can just give them the same one every time, so they can kind of get up to speed a little without being totally thrown in. Just a little of that customization might, because everyone's going to be learning at their own pace. You might want to give the sort of team captain a little control over that. If that makes sense.
Wait, I was gonna say add scroll bars to the side because a lot of times there were text further down that I didn't know about, and that's why I kept shouting
that's really good feedback. Yeah. Okay.
at Lane about about how many.
Hey, one other question, and I want to touch on something super controversial just as we're going out here. But how serious are you guys about the people on the phones can't look at the screen?
Pretty serious. It's like it would trivialize some puzzles.
Because there's Philip Lesnar art on screen, and I would
that is the thing that I am struggling with. So what I'm currently tossing around in my head is like creating some sort of like replay system where after the scenario is over, maybe it can capture like a small little GIF and send it to everyone so that you could get an idea of what happened at key moments. That's what I'd like to do. It's a really big technical thing because I would have to figure out a way to like kind of record everything, only select keyframes or something, and then like send that over my terrible netcode.
Well, here's the way to. So one of the things that as I was watching and choosing which stream to maximize in the stream window, so I was kind of playing director, and I had a really fun time sort of following the narrative of the thing. Right, somebody would say do this, and then I would point, I'd click the person who had it and wait for them to realize it, and that was kind of fun for me. So I had a good time, but. I also thinking about the person who's just playing on their phone, and it's the sort of, and those players can speak to that, but it is such a shame that you don't get to see more of the game, like the interaction.
Absolutely.
And so one suggestion might be is rather than have any kind of replay system that, and maybe there's a limited amount of times you do this, but anyone on their phone can like sort of stream the VR view to their phone. But then they're not allowed to do anything else. So they can just take a peek, and they can maybe have a couple of tokens. They can do this a few times. So if one person has a puzzle and the VR person has to manage it, a third person can then, look in and assist briefly, the way that you do in Keep Talking when the people around the table are kind of helping each other, but not so much as to completely turn it into a
that's actually not
VR
bad. Yeah. I think the my worry for it is that, like, for example, like on the biometric scanner puzzle, the puzzle is kind of entirely in communicating like the face on this thing. The art's not good, but like it's basically like if you know what it is, then it's basically already solved. So like,
well, maybe it's a case of because which player has which puzzle immediately, right?
Yeah,
so you could just say that once you solve your puzzle, you've got. You hold your thumb on the screen for 30 seconds, and as soon as you let go, you can't do it anymore. You get like one token to peek in and help, like after you solve your puzzle.
That's not a bad idea.
You could hypothetically have like a camera above your puzzle, right? So that you can look and see everything else, but not your own.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, just have like static views that you could look into.
Yeah, and in theory, I also could like have like for the things like I could have it be black and white. So like if it requires color stuff. It won't like you won't be able to tell, and then B, I could have certain screens, I guess, be like I don't know, like you could have like a weird CRT effect, like when you.
Yeah, actually, that could be a whole round of puzzles. Is like one phone player can look in, but it's black and white, or it's heavily pixelated, or something, and that's the only view they ever get, or something. And that could be a whole. You could.
That's good.
And then you can start combining that with your existing mechanics and really make it very complicated as you get way into the late game.
Yeah, there's definitely like I mean I wanted to do like a one where one player has a little drone that they could fly around. It might be a lot, but there's a lot of like the various roles that I have that like to add more variety and that kind of thing. That would be really good. But I've thought about the camera thing, but I kind of dismissed it because I thought it would be too trivial. But then, I mean, I think that this is definitely a valid point, and I definitely also have been very sad that the non-VR players don't get to really see the VR view where a lot of stuff is happening. So
everybody gets to enjoy the programming, but only one person gets to enjoy the art. Feels like a little snub here.
I think also in an ideal
Yeah.
world, like everyone would. I mean, when I originally was designing this, I would think, okay, everyone's in the same room, and people would take turns being the VR player.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's true.
obviously that's not something that happens right now. So
Not easily.
yeah. Yeah.
Dale, you
Well,
had a
that's
That's
thought.
how I would be playing
Yeah,
it too.
I
Usually
was
is with
gonna
friends.
I was gonna say that once you have people in the same room, part of the entertainment is just gonna be watching the VR person struggle with
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, so maybe just them flailing around is enough, or maybe.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, seeing what they see is a big part of enjoying someone do VR. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
you have to balance that with your mechanics. The
Good
one more
point.
piece of feedback I have, or maybe just something to think about, is there's two ways to fail. You can run out of time, or you can get enough, whammies, basically. And one of the things, especially with the fuse puzzle, and I think that the solves that you're already thinking about will go a long way towards this, but one of the things that I could tell for the players is this sort of the fear of mistakes, right? Like
Yeah.
not fully. And I think that in order to encourage players to kind of try more stuff, I wonder if you might think about having no fail state for getting a puzzle wrong. Maybe it locks you out of that puzzle for 20 seconds, like a punishing amount of time.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
And so that you feel a little freer to kind of like, well, what does this do? Instead of it be like, and then, oh no, we're one closer to the end. Like that's the cost of your curiosity.
Yeah.
The cost of your curiosity should be something different, perhaps. But that would really change a lot of the game. So, maybe
Yeah,
test that out before you make a big change like that. But it might
Yeah,
be
for
something
sure.
you consider.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely like have. Yeah, that's definitely something that is. I feel like should probably be examined a little more because I that was when we first started like playtesting. I mean, you're supposed to you're like allowed to like change the sliders and press the side buttons as much as you want, and there's no downside to that. But there are certain like things that require you to hit a button to submit or something. So they were really afraid of just like hitting all the buttons because they thought, oh, if I hit buttons, I might get a fault or whatever. And yeah, that would definitely be something to think about. Maybe there's some
streamlining
time
player
to-
expectations. So they're like,
Yeah.
here's a new interactable. This
Yeah.
is what I know about interactables, even though I've never seen this one before.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all really good. Yeah.
Not my vault team. You guys are cordially invited to hang out with us as we go into our next game.
Cool. Yeah, I'll stick around for a little bit. I got to leave in like 45 minutes, but yeah, I'll hang out for a bit.
No
Right.
problem at all. Yeah, let's
What's-
take a look.
What's the next game?
Well, the next game is a little mystery box presented to us by our very own Bit. Bit, you want to tell us about this?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
You can.
I can hear you.
I'm going to trepidatiously say yes, but it sounds like there's a little bit of weirdness in your
Little
in your audio
flakiness,
there.
but we'll put up with it. It's worth it.
Okay, I feel like there is every time. I tried to use my onboard sound card instead of my external one to solve that, but I couldn't get the microphone to work at all. So
It
This is
sounds
very
like a bitrate mismatch, which I've dealt with from time to time. You know what? Listeners are just going to have to deal with it because we can hear what you're saying, so it's good.
no. Sorry. I'm supposed to be an award-winning audio guy. This is embarrassing.
Well, no one's up for anything tonight, so I think you're okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this is basically just like a mechanics playtest. I just kind of want to get an idea of whether or not this feels fun before I start putting in a bunch of effort to do a whole bunch of content for it.
Mhm.
So
Super smart.
other than that, yeah, there is a rough draft pass on polish, so it's not like super polished, but it's not just complete jank, though there is some of that also.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like in the vein of old school light vector arcade games, so like original Asteroid stuff like that. But
Yeah.
modern update, and it's kind of, I mean, functionally it's just a shmup. There's not a whole lot of originality to that part of it.
Mhm.
Most of it comes in from the mechanics. So if you
Well, it
haven't
looks
tried
great.
it yet,
That's my first impression.
okay, cool.
I didn't get a chance to play through it yet, but just looking at the art, it does feel more polished than I think you're probably giving it credit for.
Maybe.
So if we get a playtester on, what do they need? And who's on the line already with that thing?
Well,
Maybe
anyone on the
I'm
call
not.
right now who wants to play the game. If you've got Parsec, we need you to become friends with our Parsec account, and then you can get access to my machine to play the game on the stream. Otherwise, Dale or I could play if we don't get anyone
Just
quick
send,
enough.
send a link and the password for the thing. I don't mind. I just didn't want it to be publicly.
Oh, sure.
available
Yeah.
So,
This is just for playing on the stream, so we can, because we're not doing it the same way we did the last game.
Yeah, any volunteers? Otherwise, I'll have to say, Phil, I haven't seen you play a game on the stream before.
Oh God.
Am I on it?
Dale, you're connected, so you can go ahead and start if you like.
Sucker. Oh, and I play it with
That's really nice of
my
you.
mouse.
yeah, it's mouse only except for to pause. It's spacebar,
Okay.
which you'll want to do.
We'll
after it boots up.
see. Oh, uh-oh.
Ooh, that's very nice. That's very pretty.
Yeah, I was watching a lot of Tron, the first one. It's really boring, and I kept falling asleep and didn't restart.
How come I can't? Okay. So it's like I can only. Oh, I can't destroy the red ones, can I?
You can if you switch to the red weapon and just touch them with the mouse.
What? I don't know
don't
how
have-
to do
no,
that. I'm just saying, hang out here.
All right, I like
And,
it.
and then you're gonna be real sad.
I mean, it will grade you at the end.
You're right. It will grade me. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's like heat seeking.
There is a.
I don't know how to switch. I'm just.
It will be boring the less you do.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna run the boring round, and then later Lane can come in and run the exciting round. Or Phil.
All right.
Love
Sounds
it.
good.
By the way, when we do my round, I'm going to stream to Discord. Hope that works for
no.
you guys.
I died. Destroyed by a medium-sized asteroid. I am just gonna
that's-
pretend that
You're still playing.
that's
as
a
far as I
really great score. Okay, I'm gonna retry, and we'll see if Mark kicks me off and lets press space for instructions. No way.
You're a playtester. You don't want to read instructions.
No.
You want to
just
simulate
good
an
role-playing.
actual player environment. Yeah.
Oh my
how
god.
when you
Fit,
fire...
I'm listening to the audio right now. This is so cool. This sounds
It is,
so good.
yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was definitely doing simpler stuff because kind of easy. I don't know. It just fit.
The that deep bass oomph, does that happen when Dale is trying to fire with no energy
What? I have energy?
or something? I just is it tied to Dale's actions? That's kind of what it seems like, or is it on a rhythm?
Oh no. I'm in trouble now.
Yeah, so there's three weapons. There's the main one, like the blue one, the rapid fire one. When you click, it switches between that one and the red one. If you press and hold, it's the shield, and it stays on as long as you're holding it. And there's occasionally these 1G gold swords that show up, and the only way to blow them up is with the shields. You have to get in pretty close to them. There's instructions. If you hit space right when the level starts.
Why would I do that? That's lame
Yeah,
stuff.
I knew nobody was gonna do it. But didn't have time to do actual tutorials and stuff, and didn't necessarily consider that a priority.
Oh no!
Yeah, you just like headlong collided into that one.
Yeah. Okay, I did great.
We did have Peter was trying to connect it while you were playing. I didn't want to
Oh.
steal the mouse from you. So
Okay.
Peter, if you
please.
want to hop back in, I can give it to you, and
Let
then we can.
Peter
Lane
play.
can be on deck. There you are again.
It's exciting.
Sure.
I gotta say, it looks really good. I was like, what's going on here?
You should have control now.
Let's do it. Retry. Okay.
Dale, you also have control, so you should.
Yeah!
Don't
Oh my god, are we? Is this a co-op run all of a
Going
sudden? Oh, why? Why is this happening?
Why do you keep missing? This is terrible.
You're the one that's missing. Oh my
You're
god.
better than me.
All right, so this is a new game mode apparently, or just 2 mouse, 1 controller.
I mean, you can
whatever.
make it work. One person moves, the other person fires.
I don't know if it'll be too slow if you full screen it, but it does. It stays in the same box. Like can't.
I can't believe it died.
You monster.
All right, let Peter play by himself.
Okay, I'm gonna close my thing.
No, you just closed the game.
Oh no!
All right, I'll boot you, and I'll.
Please boot me. I don't know what I'm doing.
So yeah, I did run it full screen when I was testing, and it does slow down a little bit. So I think we'll keep it as is. Although,
yeah,
let's get everyone get a look at it at full screen. So.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
that's
very
so
nice.
Good.
Yeah, you get that full warp effect and everything.
Oh, dude, it's fabulous. Do you play full screen? Oh no, you don't. Okay.
I don't know how it would work or if it would even make sense, but I was considering if I could have doing something more with this. Toying with the idea of, because I've never done VR stuff, just doing it in VR because I feel like it would make me sick and all the ways I like.
Just like Tetris Effect style, right? Like it's not a VR game, you just experience it in VR, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There should be more games like that, that just use it as a medium, not necessarily as a like for its mechanics,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I see what's going on here. Oh my goodness. The straight shenanigans of this game. Okay,
yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. I was like, what's going on here? I can see into the code.
But I'm probably going to build in like restrictions. So I don't know if you noticed, but your rapid fire weapon speed increases as that power level goes up. I kind of want all the weapons to work that way and have that be configurable so that it's kind of got 5 slots and you use those crystals that you're collecting to place where you want things and when you want them to upgrade. So like if you want missiles to upgrade first, you put that in. That just means your rapid fire weapon stays slower for a little bit longer, that kind of thing. I'd have to tweak quite a bit to make that work, but that's kind of the idea. I also toyed with making the move speed another upgradable thing, like the actual speed of the ship moves left and right.
Right.
But I haven't implemented that yet.
I could say, how do you feel about the Gradius versus R-type illustrations? Because I see that you're definitely trying for like a classic shmup, but you got to pick a direction. And I'm curious what you would choose.
Gradius or R-type?
Yeah. Or like what you want for this game to go in terms of like upgrades and so on and so forth.
I see what you're saying. I think it's not really going to be either of those. It's going to be like, if you imagine it as the 5 slots, you can mix and match like what get upgraded when. So as you're playing through a level, the rhythm or the dynamic of what weapons you're using would change based on like when those things are upgraded.
Okay.
So
Peter got greedy on that last round.
I did.
I kind of like that actually as a way to put the player in danger. Is give them opportunities to get like sick combos, but like kind of encourage them to take stupid risks.
Yes.
Like rather than the game itself being extremely difficult, make it really tempting to go for broke.
Yes. I'm 100% for that. It's I can't reliably do a flawless run when one of my cats is on my arm. But that's also one of those where I played it probably hundreds of times at this point. So
yeah,
dude, it's so good. It just feels so good to play. That like shape with chromatic aberration is heavenly. I love that.
Yeah, it's just.
The effects are really well done.
I was actually really disappointed in some of the effects. Like, there's a bunch of stuff missing.
What an artiste! Oh my god, it's so good.
That's how it's going to be.
For goodness sake, keep going, because I mean, like, if you're disappointed with this, I want to see what you come up with next.
Yeah, I had this. I really want to. I mean, I have some other enemy types doing a project that just aren't in this level. Like mines and some enemies that use like blades for like blocking behavior, so like they'll fly around like I'm hungry.
Oh yeah.
I need to make those work a little bit better and figure out how I'm going to implement like the asteroid generation is like almost a terrain, which I can probably just do with wind noise or something like that, and just different sizes for more area, that kind of thing, and then blocking that. But I haven't experimented with that yet. That's fun. I know, like as an arcade game, it's great. Like run, it's pretty fun. Like I have to do it.
Yeah. You know what would be cool is like things that move at a different speed through them. They sort of like have to like just negotiate around as like terrain while you're doing stuff.
Yeah, I'd agree that I think with the way it's kind of laid out right now, it's very just like procedural. But if you start introducing different speeds, different sizes, and different like bullet types or ammo, like different type of input requirements, I think that's where this could really go, really cool.
Yeah, I think that's kind of. I was trying to keep the input requirements to not a minimum, but like I want to keep that 3. But kind of maybe choose what weapon upgrade to, and like behave a little bit differently. You lose 3 inputs. So obviously the one is just like vertical targeting.
Right.
The other one is you have to click to it and then touch them, and then the other one's just press and hold. I think those are kind of like the 3 things.
Okay. I don't know who's running the game volume, but we're getting some complaints that it's too loud. People complaining about #1 gold-rated bit audio, so our audience is pretty spoiled.
Peter, I need to steal the mouse from you in order to.
Yes, go right ahead. Please go ahead. I'm sorry, but what I wanted to mention is that because of this vertical screen, it makes you feel like it is potential for iOS or like Android type of gameplay. Is that intended?
Yeah. So yeah, I was originally planning to make it a mobile game. And then I was kind of thinking through the different control schemes for that, and I just kind of wanted to get it to a place where I could start playtesting it, and so I didn't. So the idea would be that you have to be touching the screens and move the player, right? Or
Whoa!
Like I have to figure out how that's going to work. Like maybe it would snap you into like this different columns, like swipe distance or something. And then you can still do like maybe tap the player to switch the weapon, or press and hold the player to switch the weapon. But then that becomes a problem if like you're right-handed and the player's all the way on the left. Unless you're playing with 2 hands. Like I'm not really sure how I would do it exactly. But yeah, the original intent was to make it a mobile game, so that's why it is in.
Perfect. I just wanted to check it out or bring it to notice. It definitely felt intended.
I think that I'll just say like since I know that like my friend Charles has done like a bunch of like research on games like this, he thinks that the best thing to do with mobile shmups is to make it so you can like start a drag anywhere and like stop a drag anywhere, and then if you have columns, you can do it that way really easily. You just want to make sure that it has like a vibration when the player clicks into place, so that they know that they like can terminate the drag at a particular spot.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
How does the movement work on like a mobile interface? Like, do you like versus like just your normal shots versus the red shots? Like, is the control scheme just like tapping those red things directly, or?
Yeah, I think it's
like dragging over those.
Like tap the player to like switch.
Yeah, I think you'll find the difficulty would change a lot by using touch versus mouse.
Yeah,
it's like there's a different kind of precision required. It'd be easier in some ways and more difficult in others.
Yep.
So if you really do want to bring it back to mobile as you move forward, you should be very careful about the lessons you learn from playtests, because you might teach the wrong lessons.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know that I am going to do that. I think I'm probably just going to move forward with it as a desktop build.
You know, there's a lot more screens real estate on the left and right you could do stuff with.
Yeah,
I was thinking. Actually, I'm thinking what would be really fun is if what happens is the player actually stays within those bounds but rotates when you hit left or right, so that you could have coming in from the sides.
Yeah.
Like rotate to get to that.
Okay.
I'm kind of imagining this like laid out like Guitar Hero. You know, like a lane out into the distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did rotate the camera at one point, like 45, because it is in 3D. It's in it's not in orthographic mode, so I can do that. But that just really makes me want to make it actually 3D then. Not just
yeah. Well, you can make it like Zaxxon. You can have you can have like levels, vertical levels. Make it a
And you could alternate it. You could do like where like it's a lot more vertical in this particular segment, but then you change it up in certain stages.
This game would be kind of perfect for like completely changing modes, like zone to zone, where it looks just like this, and then suddenly it's horizontal, and then suddenly it's it sort of has 3 dimensions, and then you know what I mean? Like, but the art style, because it's so specific and so like you can make it look really different and arrange everything in a different way, but then still stay true to the core look of the thing. And you could really end up, I mean, you could go completely wild with it and make tons of different modes, and then you can mix and match them to create even more sort of like combinations of content.
Yeah, one of the things I was considering was if I do, when I'm doing the terrain, like the previous tests of stuff like that I've done, I've always been just like flat top down like this. Again, using just Berlin noise and basically making literal terrain out of it, and just using line renderers to render the terrain.
Yeah.
But doing it from a sphere or something could be really cool. Like you're actually, it's like just a bigger asteroid or something, like, and you're traveling along the terrain almost like a train.
So, like the Sonic 2 bonus levels.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as you were describing that, I was like, ooh, yeah.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's
lots of
lot
different ways you could do the basic core mechanic, but sort of have different modes or different terrain styles or different navigation. You could have the player in the direct center and have everything coming at them from all sides, and then only the red weapon is useful, you know?
Yeah.
I want to see
be
one
funny.
where you're going one direction against a flow of asteroids in a slightly different direction.
Oh, I like that.
Oh yeah, like they're coming in at an angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't start with a version where they were moving different speeds and stuff like that was just because I didn't like the way it looked when they went through each other.
Yeah.
I used the physics engine. Well, I didn't want to heavily use the physics engine, but it's kind of starting to get to the point where a bunch of the stuff I want to do is going to end up using it anyway. So the other problem is that some of the asteroids might get knocked off the screen and then you can't get them. That feels unfair to me.
Yeah. Well, it's because these are enemies. These aren't bullets, right? They're enemies, not bullets. So like the sort of the shoot 'em up kind of expectation is a little different because they don't themselves
like
fire
a bullet.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So you do want to have them be real distinct, and I mean they're laid out in kind of a grid now, but like that's a solid choice. Like it might feel like it's rudimentary or too simple, but like I think it's a good choice in a sense, you know, to not have it sort of too chaotic.
But the potential gameplay of them going different speeds is just like it's so much that I feel like you shouldn't shouldn't dismiss it until some options have been explored. Like for example, oh man, I always am very afraid to ask artists this kind of question. But if the meteors were opaque, would it look better for them to be behind each other?
No, it's the same problem. Like, because it has this intentionally like flat neon grid look to it. Whenever they hit and they don't actually like bounce off of each other or interact in any way, it completely destroys the illusion that they're solid. You know, and even if they are opaque, it's even more jarring because it's like, why didn't those bounce off each other?
You could always have a case of like, I mean, you could just do the math on this, right? You could say asteroids can move at different speeds, but every column has a base speed, and asteroids in front of other asteroids can go faster, but asteroids behind others can't. So as soon as the asteroid goes off screen,
I didn't even think of that.
So I mean, you basically would engineer a result. It's somewhat limiting, but you can engineer it just with code. Without having to worry too much.
That's the first one I'm going to try. That's great. That's so smart.
And then hopefully to the player it will feel natural, but you'll have to do some testing to see if you can get it. And I think Lane is enamored with the mechanical possibilities, but I think you probably have to do a little more.
It solved a lot of questions with Vengeance. Is the only reason why I really like it.
Yeah. Well, the thing with but in Vengeance you can move in 2 dimensions.
I mean, yeah, but the fundamental reason why it's valuable is the same, is that it adds a extra dimension to threat analysis. This thing is the biggest threat right now, but that one will be the biggest threat in a moment. So which do I deal with first? Is a inherently like interesting decision.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that I think you want to make sure you want to go one step beyond that before it's worth doing. Is kind of.
Oh yeah.
But you're right. That's the start of an interesting path.
One of the things, I like the column idea a lot, Mark. That's super helpful. I'm totally going to use that. And I agree with you, Lane, that like there does need to be some kind of like dynamism in the field, I guess. But that is one of the reasons why I was starting to work on the flocking behavior, because when it works, it's really cool because you can have like these clusters of asteroids, and then you just have this stuff just kind of spill in around it, and then like it kind of it kind of in Galaga when the enemies would like come up and then like stop in the front of the rest of them.
Yes.
Kind of, when they kind of do that, and they, if I'm adding behaviors into them to fire at you, or some of them to like, just blitzkrieg you, it's stuff like that. It changes it a lot, because the idea was that the enemies don't actually drop any of the upgrade stuff. They're just there to harass you. The kind of conceit there is that they're like pirates or whatever. They're out there, but they're basically out there for the same reason you are. So, no ethical consumption under capitalism. But like the idea would be that the whole thing is couched in this fictional universe where like anyone who needs a job can work for this mining company, and there's like an interface, and you're seeing something happening in a real place somewhere.
But you're not there, so you're not destroyed by a medium-sized asteroid. It's only your drone.
Yeah. But yes, the idea was like you're not killing anybody, but you are trying to. There's a bit of a void rush thing going on there. So I kind of wanted most of the dynamism to come from like actually like intelligent enemies rather than the asteroids.
Yeah.
But I did also want there to be some kind of dumb stuff like tracking mines and things where like they do change speed dynamically and like come at you, that kind of thing. But like move around the asteroids instead of just through them, because again it just completely. I was actually a little annoyed even that the missiles do that, and I might fix it, because the tracking missiles will just straight up go through stuff and it bugs the crap. Right. But like, I knew it was going to take me like several days to figure out how to do that and make it run well, but I think once I get the voids or the flocking code working, I can probably just use that on the missiles too.
I'm going to take a pause here and just read some of the chat, because I know that doesn't carry over to the YouTube stream afterwards. So, Derwolfmeister said this game got style, and style is in all caps. Elaine
thanks, man.
says, yeah, those stars at the beginning, is that just, in all caps, a dramatic fisheye? That's an actual question you can answer.
Moving on.
It is. It several layers. Like 3 or 4 of them, I think.
3 or 4 dramatic fisheyes.
I'm going to use this awkward moment to say, hey, Peter, I'm going to boot you, and then Lane, you said you wanted to give it a go, right?
Oh, yes, go right ahead.
Sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Okay.
Mark, would it be cool for me to stream via Discord, or should I just come in on Parsec?
Oh, no, yeah, you said that. I'm planning for that, so go ahead.
Oh, sweet. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Trevor McCauley says, mad style, all in caps. He also says, feel like this game would be really cool to have the music more responsive to the background/enemies, something kind of like Beat Hazard.
It does do a little bit of that, doesn't it?
So, yeah, it does, but the loops are probably about twice as long as they should be, and it's on my Trello hit list to
Okay.
them, so that it can change a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
I have some extra fills and stuff like that, and then of course if there's more levels, there'll be different music and that kind of thing.
Okay.
This is
I had a quick
at all. Like you'll be able to pick your own colors for the stuff, turn off effects if you don't like them, etc.
I have a
Trevor,
quick gameplay question. What is considered an above average score? Because it's very frustrating to be like, I only missed 6. It is still average?
Yeah, because I'm basing it on my skill level, which is perfect. So it's flawless.
So mean.
yeah.
Damn.
You should base that on Dale, and everybody would be doing great. Okay, Trevor
I was pretty
also.
mean about it. I was gonna put a 4th one in there, but I just didn't feel it.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay, Trevor also says if the plan was to be a mobile game, you could have the option to use your own music on your device and the gameplay would adjust the speed/style of music. There's a secret there to making it easier.
But you have to figure out some way to slice it up to make that
Yeah,
work.
there's a lot of engineering involved in a
Yeah.
solution like that. There are games that have tried things like that, but the what they're able to do is limited.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I suppose if they wanted to, like, you could do like, here's, pick 5 songs and it will just crossfade between them, and it's up to you to pick 5 good songs, and if you don't,
Yeah.
then it's just garbage. But like,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be too bad.
You could beat match it, and then like a slow song would be easier, but you don't get as much points, But I think the music is pretty core to the vibe of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and honestly, like, I've been a musician for longer.
Yeah, it feels like not something you wouldn't want to hand over to the user necessarily.
Yeah.
Well, like, you spend all your life trying to make a band work, and it doesn't happen. Now you're making games. Like, you're definitely whole thing, man. But yeah, I mean, it's still a cool idea, though.
Mm-hmm.
It is a cool idea.
Oh, that's the problem with game development. There's always more cool ideas.
Every idea, it seems like a cool idea.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure there are not cool ideas. I believe I said, why don't you put it to a really slow song and make it easy?
That's a cool idea.
You think so?
I mean, it's not one that he's gonna do, but it's still a cool
It
idea.
could be super relaxing,
Yeah.
It could be a mode like that. It's just like,
Uh-huh.
I'm waiting at the train station, and I don't really want to think too hard because I need to pay attention to the announcements, but I kind of want to do something and not talk to people, so...
Ah.
You were
the
talking,
pretend to be busy mode.
You were talking earlier about the lore, and all that got me thinking about is multiplayer. Like sort of a co-op, but go for the highest score kind of multiplayer.
I believe
you
me
did it,
and Peter did that,
Nice.
and it didn't work so hot.
Well, you don't control the same ship though. That's not anti-co-op.
That's
Yeah, I wonder...
co-op.
it would be fun, I think, if it was a co-op thing, it would be basically 1 to 3 players, and you each control one of the mechanics, but they come at you a lot faster.
Well, yeah, you could
Probably.
do it like Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, where someone controls motion, someone controls a weapon, that sort of thing. But I was thinking 4 ships on screen, and you're going for the most ore, right? You're competing in this mining operation.
Oh, that's really fun. Dang it, Mark.
I mean, it was just suggested by the lore you were laying out, and I'm always wanting to tie those things together. So it's kind of it's there waiting to be found.
Really
but this is the kind of game that really it's very Zen-like, and like it's a real strong single player experience. So that's a good idea. You don't have to do is multiplayer.
Yeah,
unless,
maybe that's
unless you really like
that's
it.
an Overlode 2 thing or something. Overlode.
Perhaps, yeah. Yeah, but
Okay,
once it's not mobile anymore,
tell
you
me-
kind of like
You guys like this spelled, and you like that one, please? It's great, right?
Okay, breaking in from
All right,
the chat.
I gotta
Miss-
say, my brain likes this game. I just love so much about it. While playing it, it just feels super good. So I have no other advice other than keep doing you, because I'm a big fan.
Okay.
Oh, very sweet.
And in the chat, Trevor McCauley says, definitely could see it being a tricky task, meaning the music. The music is great currently. Good job, Bit. Some more flashing / vibes coming through in the starry background that matches the song would be fun. But then he adds, you'd have to drop a seizure warning for sure.
Yeah, you need to get some review on stuff like that. But that's a good idea to tie more of the experience to the music to draw players into that part know
Yeah.
I
don't like the
did
flashing as
originally,
much.
So I have
Yeah.
there's I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, the DSP time in Unity.
Yes,
that's how you do music matching, like no one to come in with all that stuff.
and it's not
But
great. Is that what you're going to follow up with?
Well, it's not. But at the same time, I do have this custom audio engine thing working, which I started with Lane on Game Jam, and I could just potentially slice it up ahead of time into quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, and then triplets or whatever. So I just have those intervals and send an event on any one of those intervals, and then tell things instead of using a particular duration, tell them to trigger on those beats.
Yeah.
Which would automatically get up. I haven't tried it yet, because I'm actually kind of scared that it's going to be cool, but also
Yeah.
and then I'm not going to know what to do.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I want to like become unmotivated because there's this really cool thing I can't do.
Right. Like what? How, do you want to scale that wall yet, or something? I will say,
Yeah.
you have such a strong core like loop here already, and I hear you say a couple of times like how it doesn't feel like quite enough for you at this point, and it might be because you've conquered it in a sense. But I think that you want to be careful not to you kind of ruin a good thing in the sense. Like I think there's a lot more you probably should add as the game gets longer. But like when it starts out and it's kind of slow and simple, like that I think is what draws you in. It's hard to not learn how this game works, and then it can slowly reveal itself to you in its full complexity. But I don't know that you need to make it hugely complicated or you know what I mean? I mean, I guess it depends kind of on like what kind of player you're looking for. But I could definitely see myself working on a game like this and feeling like that, that you just want to add more and more and more to it. But I think you should be careful about how because it's so elegant now. I guess is kind of my point.
It's very elegant.
That's very
I do
kind.
like the
I did like that
explosion
about it, when it was kinda
animation.
simple, and it just sort of is what it is, and it's not. Yeah, I don't know. Everything that you said is exactly how I felt about it when I was doing it. So
Well, on that extremely conclusive note, we're going to move on to our next game. Bit, feel free to stick around, but
will.
let's get
Thank you,
going
guys.
on Anthony's title.
Okay.
All right, Anthony. While we do a little bit of technical setup here, Mark. By the way, am I streaming the Anthony's game?
No, I've got it here actually. I did.
Perfect.
I did get it figured out.
Love it.
So you can join via Parsec, or we can get anybody else popping in.
Perfect. Anthony, would you give us a little bit of introduction?
Sure. Yeah. So this is it's hard following up that pop-in soundtrack from Vit's game, but this is the very early stages of a game inspired. I mean, it's inspired by the Pokemon mania of my youth. I was right the perfect age. I was 10 years old when it came to the West, right? So that and wanting to try and recapture that in my adulthood and playing the games with my kids and not jiving with it, along with just wanting to dig something into starting to develop games. And I've always wanted to have a little bit more of tactical spin to it. Rather, kind of one of my big thing, and people say, I mean they're kids games, right? So let's not get ahead of ourselves with complaining about it. But the reason why they don't stick with me, for some reason, is just the repetitive grind of back and forth clicking the same button over again. And I get inspiration from some tabletop minis games, so some war games and other tactics games, and some D&D too. Of the idea of having a group, a party, and playing their strengths off of each other, and then that kind of evolved from there. So right now the elevator pitch is a monster battler with a tactical twist, and that's kind of what I'm going with here. I mean, the dream is a big RPG and stuff, but not try to fall into that meme of that being your first game. So we started with a very simple hex kind of tactics light style game where you control 2 units and there's 2 enemy units, and building up from there. I'm also not an artist or a musician, so most of this is free Unity assets, but I did pixel draw the creatures called Aetherlings myself. So
very
be
charming.
prepared for that. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. That, and I try to choose the color palette, and I'm going for like a GBA pixel retro style, but not. I don't think I've got it exactly there, especially with the UI and stuff like that. But kind of that fun, adventurous style, and then with the aim towards kind of. Lost my train of thought there, but with just having that same kind of that battle with a little bit more of thought.
Now, Anthony, I had the question that's going to occur to just like 80% of people right off the bat is with this elevator pitch, why not more explicitly connect it to the holy grail that everybody knows is out there, which is the Pokemon but difficult Pokemon gritty reboot that everybody has wanted since they were like 12 years old. A Pokemon that's actually like somewhat challenging for adults. Why not more explicitly connect it with that holy grail?
It's probably just a personal thing. I don't know if I could give it that spin because I do not jive with the gritty, grimdark type of style, and that really kind of fun and mystical thing is what the magic is to me. Now, maybe I do think there's a lot of people that want that, but I also think there's probably a lot of people going for that. Somebody in the Discord here just showed a game that looked really cool, then with the monsters that were like demons from hell and had an awesome design and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's a very valid question, but I don't think it's my style right now.
I like the treasure winnings that Dale has
I
gotten
got
here.
nothing.
Not just nothing. He also got 0, zilch, and nada.
Uh-huh.
Well done.
You could have some points. I could put, there could be some points in there.
Okay, let's see. Oh, play game. It's like, oh. Do I have to quit?
What
and
games
then-
are the most direct inspiration of the the grid combat that you're going for here?
The grid combat. Honestly, it's things I've done with D&D and stuff like that. Just having D&D, and then it just occurred to me there was an Android game called Hoplite I used to play. I don't know if any of you played it. You played as
The perfect
Smart
mobile
warrior.
game. One of the best ever.
Right, it's amazing. And that kind of the grid of being able to move across the hex. I battled with this a lot, and I was very stubborn about it because it's not easy to do hex things, and finding tile sets and whatnot was very difficult just to kind of throw a prototype together. But we got here, and the ability to move in those kind of uniform directions was really important to me, to be able to not have to deal with comparing it to like Fire Emblem or Advanced Wars, something where you've got the 4 ways and then the diagonal is an extra step. And it's also a little bit unique with the other tactics type of things that you usually see, so I wanted to explore it a little bit. I definitely have considered going with just a regular grid. I'm also curious did this give you an option to resize the window?
It
Or
did
is it
not.
maximized?
So I created a desktop shortcut, which is a trick in Windows.
Oh,
So I could open it maximized.
Okay,
So it
yeah.
probably isn't quite the size you intended, but I was having some difficulty earlier. But that's what
Okay,
you
that's
get when
fine.
you get prototypes. So that's not
Yeah.
on you. That's on me.
Yeah, as long as you can read it, it's fine, and you can. It does look weird, and the UI does not scale right. That's one of the things also on my backlog there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you're at the point now where you're thinking about gameplay, and you do want to have a presentation that sort of implies it, so players don't get distracted by what the game isn't. But you don't want to get bogged down in that stuff early, because I know from
And I
experience
did.
you can spend a lot of time on that when it's like then you're not proving the worth of your core experience.
Yeah, and I was trying to be 2D perfect, use and have everything work, and I struggle a lot with it. I still don't know if it's worth it. I've seen some great games that are pixel art games that don't snap them to pixel grid, but
Yeah.
that's what we ended up with now here, and that may change. And you're right, yeah, I wanted to. I mean, the tile set was the best one that I could find that was free and had that kind of really saturated, colorful palette, and same with everything else, and focusing on tile things. And it is, yeah, we are very early in what I'm working on. And you've left they've come around with you. You get to keep them with you. They're still
They're
independent.
perfectly on
They
the
look-
road.
They do. That's great. They're,
I didn't
That's
think that was
fantastic.
different.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I guess you kind of seem like you got through it pretty straightforward there without
Yeah.
too much thing. Any
Yeah, Dale, why don't you ask
Okay.
some questions, and then
Okay.
we've got some other folks in the chat.
So-
Maybe they can give it a go as well.
Here, I will explain what my... Oh,
I
yeah.
got it. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on. Okay, I will explain my thinking with it, and then you can take it from there. So what I would like to see is my characters. In here, it says very clearly player and enemy, and this must be the turn order. I would love to see my 2 players wearing like the same colored shirt, which I know doesn't make sense because my characters are a beetle thing and a clump of dirt.
Got it.
So how would you make those wear a team shirt? But I do enjoy the thought of them being, unified in that way without being the same type of, air quotes, animal. So
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, continue.
Because I like to think of my things very, like associate them with color. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think for gameplay purposes, there's a lot that I've thought about and planned to try and do for just identifying units on the field, if they've activated yet or not. Cosmetic wise, haven't thought about that too much, but it's definitely something worth thinking about. You could put little bows in their hair or on their wings or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd have to.
I'm gonna go with sweat headbands.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of like hover states and outlines, and you can do it without character art. You can do it with the UI, but then it becomes a matter of information density, right? Kind of
which I already
calibrating that,
see
yeah.
a lot of here. Like this, the UI, I want to change it all around to get that turn order just to be a little bit smoother, not have so much on there, and just have everything kind of be on demand. I know I played a game, what was it, Eichenfell, a nice cute indie game that was very tight and compact, and it had some similar things, and it was just much smoother.
I do enjoy the fact that these are different animals or whatever, monsters or whatever you want to call them. I would say that this I would call this a seal with a crown on its head. And this appears to be, those fairies from Zelda? Something like a mutated version of that.
Is one of its skills just talking to you forever?
It should be called listen. Yeah. But I guess my really poor art renditions here that conveyed the themes I was going for, because you're pretty spot on there. Yeah, not the crown is supposed to be, I don't know, some kind of hair or something on it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's either a spiky fin, or because of the way it's positioned, it's like that shot from The Little Mermaid when Ariel like jumps on the rock and all the waves behind her.
Yeah,
it's got a little bit of that going on.
Yeah,
but it could also be a super cool mohawk.
It could be both.
Yeah,
could be mohawk
could
in
be.
shape of wig.
Yeah, I feel like you'd need to make it skinnier for it to be a mohawk. I think it's because it's on the head. And then, things generally don't have fins on heads.
Well, in cartoons, they super do, but...
What? That doesn't make sense.
You're a naturalist, I know, so...
Yeah.
And there's nothing natural about these creatures.
Yeah.
Even in lore. The lore that doesn't exist in the game, but just exists in the game. But,
well, tell us a little bit about, because what you've done is you've generated a gameplay system, and you've also hinted at, a wider lore that you plan. Like I say, inspired by Pokemon in a sense. Are you imagining hundreds and hundreds of these creatures, or 20 that are have lots of depth and interest, or are they all sort of have unique weaknesses, or are there some that are weak and some that are strong? What's your kind of feeling about the whole whole cast of characters?
Yeah, so definitely not hundreds. We're talking maybe dozens, I think, just to have realistic scale, and they will. I think the elemental aspect of those type of games is important to me.
Fire Pokemon.
Right, you can see this M Beetle is a fire type, Claude is a earth type.
Yeah, that's why Claude throws rocks, and I don't understand what. Nope, I'm on this one. So Fire Starter and Burninate kind of makes sense to me, right? But the oops, I should need to move first. Move. Okay, I hit the same thing again. But the deep roots doesn't really make sense to me intuitively. I'd also love to see when the things attack me, some sort of animation that eventually, obviously not in this prototype level, of like what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. And we need more information about what each effect does. Like when you use Deep Roots, it says does 0 damage, and they are actually the last thing I put in last week.
Yeah, because I
status
was
effects.
guessing it was some sort of like healing thing, but you know.
Yep, it increases his defense by 10, essentially. Makes him take less damage. Yeah,
and I did
that was
not
kind of-
notice because of tiny user interface.
Yep, tiny user interface, and there's no way. The only place you see that is in a little pop-up description that kind of annoyingly pops around.
Oh, you know I'm not going to read that, right?
Yeah, especially at this group. I think, and I need to play around with this, but just to quickly aside about that, I think just scaling everything up by 2 times is what I'm going to try next, just to make it look a little better, and then I'll have to dig deep on how, kind of retro-ish pixel games go.
Okay.
But to go back to your question, Mark, yeah, the types, I do want them to interact, and I've been playing around. I have a couple different things in just a document of how they're going to interact. I mean, there's the classic, the triangle, rock, paper, scissors, one's weak to the other. But I also thought it would be really cool to have more unique interactions, like something, if a fire type attack hits a water type creature, then that's like a steam effect.
Yeah.
I like that.
Similar to, if you've ever played any of the Divinity Original Sin games, the elements in there, and I guess probably Breath of the Wild goes the same way. The systematic kind of combination of the elements really comes with some unique things. That might be a little bit too much and too complex, but I've been toying around with that a lot, and the abilities of that.
There's a couple of ways you could do that. You could do that either by having your characters combine their types into like combo attacks, or you could have a kind of a area of effect, like if you attack a fire type, then it releases steam, and then the boss character next to it, which is immune to all of your attacks, is weak to steam or something. So it becomes kind of a puzzle element.
I like that idea.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of how I want to go with the tactics and the ability to, and whatever you have, being able to make a whole is greater than the sum of the parts type ability by combining the abilities in interesting ways, and just having the abilities and systems that enable that is going to be the tricky part in tuning that. That's kind of the other, so the one design pillar is tactical, and doing that with making almost like puzzle like you mentioned, and the other one was being able to customize your play style as a player more. One of the power fantasies of Pokemon, when you're a kid and you want to, or an adult thinking that you're a kid and you want to go on a Pokemon adventure, you always saw, the awesome guy that trained all the fire Pokemon and like had mastery over fire, but you never wanted that in the game. You wanted to have complete type coverage and whatnot. So I've got not a lot of details about it, but just the goal of, if a player wants to have all fire type Aetherlings, or half a team, some sort of skill tree or items or abilities that lets them cover those weaknesses, or at least power through them, give them enough more flexibility that they can. So one idea was like a skill tree, a player skill tree, where you say, if you put enough points into the fire skill tree, they all get a slight resistance to water or something because they're just so hot, or whatever theming goes with that.
I mean, you could certainly just gear the game entirely to where players are not allowed to play with a balanced roster, and so it's a different experience. And so it doesn't have to be compensating necessarily. It could just be, if you play with a fire team, then this part of the game is hard, but if you play with a water team, a different part of the game is hard.
Yeah, for sure. And the idea being that I didn't think about not even having the option of, or otherwise punishing having a diverse team. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. It does kind of fit thematically wise. I mean, the lore and theme is about, elements and magical aether. That's where the name Aetherlings comes from. So there's definitely thematic reasonings for it there.
And that's something where you could have different stages, and it could allow you to sort of extend the usefulness of the mechanics you design, which is always an indie trick, is to make 2 things, and then instead of making a third thing, just combine the 2 things. So you could have early parts of the game you pick different teams, and then you unlock the ability to combine them, because maybe they don't get along, and you need skill leadership or something, some explanation.
Friendship.
But then
Power of heart.
Yeah, none of your creatures are powerful enough to work together at the beginning. It's only when they sort of level up that they can withstand hanging out with each other, and then therefore can take on the toughest bosses.
Yes. I like that.
You also might think about making things more than just the type versus type being weak to each other, but I'm thinking about that Claude and the rock throw would probably not be that helpful against a tiny fairy that talks a lot, because they can just move. They're a very small target. Or I'm also thinking about having like area effects. So like if you use Super Flap, the thing that I just made up, with your bird air creature against a fire thing, maybe it burns the creature behind it.
Yeah. That's a little bit to the sort of different play styles you're kind of hinting at.
Yeah.
Is to have like lots of unique, and then you just sort of have it on different dimensions, right? You you have a set of levers you pull for each of your attacks, so you can use your own tools instead of bespoke making each individual attack. Developing in the game, you can just have, a bunch of different levers that like area, range, blah blah blah, intensity at the core versus at the edges of the range, and you can just then you can build a lot of things and test them quickly.
Certainly adding in the terrain does a couple of things. I mean, on the one hand, it lets you do so many things with regard to making certain teams very effective in certain circumstances and not effective in other ones. For example, like the team you'd want to build against like a swarm of small guys with your area of effect thing would be very different from the team you'd build against one big guy. But I think it also introduces some additional busy work that you do on every single turn. And I want to ask more about that. Like, what have you done to I guess like research the way other games do this sort of tactics behavior, and then reduce the amount of clicks that you have to do on every turn? That's really my only complaint at the moment from a playtesting perspective, which is just I feel like I have to do 6 clicks per turn, and I feel like I want it to be like 4, and I feel like you could get there pretty easily.
Yeah, for sure. So I think implementing what a lot of common tactics do is the move and attack at the same time.
Yes.
Like the ability, like if you click a skill and it would give you a preview of, okay, you're gonna move here in order to use that on that. And if you wanted more fine tune about it, you could do the move separately. Definitely that. I think that's the only thing that comes to the top of mind as far as other games that I've looked at. I think that was actually a big challenge in the beginning, was to have this kind of, think of the whole picture, a kind of an adventure RPG that is modeled after traditional, turn-based grind type of RPGs, but have this slower paced tactical style combat. And how would I do that without just having it be a slog? Because if you have to do as many of these combats as you do in walking through grass in Pokemon or across the field in Final Fantasy, it's going to be bad. So there's a few of them. I think I played around with them. There's Trails in the Sky, had a similar where you're moving around in a field, that Iconfell that I mentioned it. And I want to play around with those just to see how they feel, how their pacing of the battles goes. But I'm not a big fan of grind anyways, which was a recent topic on a podcast that I listened to. And I think just having something where you just didn't need to grind as much and you had a little bit more control over how many you got into these, so everyone was more impactful and you needed less overall battles.
Yeah.
Especially when you mentioned earlier, Mark, having more of a puzzle, especially if they kind of hit on that gameplay and scratch that puzzle itch a little bit, which I haven't thought about that much otherwise, but that would definitely make it more stomachable to have a lot less. And
yeah,
be more
I think
interesting.
If you want to check out a game that does the puzzle aspect really well, there's a collectible card game, a digital CCG called Faeria, Faeria, that looks similar to this game, but really like it like you don't have to like invest in the CCG part of it at all in order to play like a lot of the puzzles. And I think that game both feels very good to play and then also shows like exactly how I think, best to construct, or like at least one good way to construct like puzzles that are solved by picking a better team that can adapt to the terrain and that your enemy types are doing on a hex grid like this.
Yeah, I have heard of that game actually, and it was on my short list, and I should go back and revisit that. I kind of need to do a pass over these after I have some actual implementation under my belt here.
Sure.
Great idea, thank you. Mark, you were gonna say something too?
Oh yeah. So I this isn't going to work on everybody, but for me, I love the slow, deliberate tactics kind of play. So I think if you're looking for if you're concerned that the pacing is too slow or too much of a slog, the levers you can pull on that are to make things faster, make things simpler. But I think that you could also think about making the game instead of being out in a field and encountering lots of little encounters, you could really make it 6 big encounters. You know what I mean? I think that probably moves you further away from your inspiration. But one thing I like in a tactics game, and not many of them give you the opportunity to, is to flail around a little bit. Like a lot of times in a game like this, you make a couple of early mistakes because you're figuring it out, and then you're like, you'd rather just start the mission over. But I kind of don't mind. Like, I would love a game that lets you kind of test the waters a little bit. And that's a very slow-paced kind of encounter, but I say don't be afraid of that. Leverage it if it's to your taste as well.
Yeah, I think it's something I'm definitely thinking about. Will have to come out, I guess, in playtesting, and then tweaking that with just the number. I mean, the 6 to 8 is the classic D&D encounters per day. So
Yeah.
It's interesting that number kind of matches up when you have something that's a little bit more than just couple buttons, spamming the same button over and over again.
Yeah. And then how rewarding is it to defeat an enemy? Because if it's really nice and rewarding, you maybe want a lot of it. There's lots of levers to pull, as well as the big spreadsheet you're gonna have to make for all your characters and stuff.
I was gonna suggest, does somebody else want to click all the buttons and while Lane or I reads the chat?
No, we got to go on to our next game.
Ooh.
We are running out of time. In the meantime, there were
everything's
two
too damn
questions.
fun.
You're
There
gonna
were
miss
2 questions that I should read out that I thought were excellent. One from Bit Culture: are you planning on sticking with static pixel art or doing animations, etc.?
There will be animations for sure. That's just another thing I have to teach myself. So later on.
Love it. I hope you have a great time with that, because I absolutely adore doing that. And then Jarky Ta says, have you looked into using pre-designed palettes as a base, since you mentioned having some difficulty nailing the palette for hitting the retro aesthetic you're looking for? Oh my god, pre-designed palettes have been a game changer for me. What do you think, Anthony?
I haven't looked that much into it, aside from just being aware that it's a thing and the history of retro games. But it definitely will be on my radar, and I'll have to look into it. Not even being sure the actual retro style that I want to stick with and needing to play around with that yet. I kind of put it off, but yeah.
Check out that palette list he just posted. One more from Amanda Tastic, snuck in at the last moment. Are you going to do any elevation on the terrain eventually, a la FF Tactics?
That is the plan, as well with different terrain features, and maybe even the ability to affect terrain. Depends on how well the scope goes.
Man, Feria is so good for that too. Oh, so much inspiration.
Sounds like I need to check it out more.
I'm excited about that. Okay. Oh man, people are not letting us go on to the next game. Bit Culture says, yeah. And what software are you using for the art?
Yeah, it was Sprite. Sprite in
Nice.
Photoshop.
All right. Fast answers. Let us move on to the next one. Peter, what do you got for us, buddy?
Well, I will actually hit a link into Twitch chat here.
As Peter does that, we still have a bunch of folks in the room. If you, this is Peter. How many players do you support?
Up to 6, and I would say just because we wanted to try and keep this before 9 o'clock, we're probably not gonna play the full game, but we are gonna be testing a new mechanic for this board game.
Okay. Well, I think first come, first serve from the folks in the event stage right now. I'd say.
Yes, please go ahead. And I will happily sit out of this game if needed. But it's a matter of this is a game that I had the pleasure of receiving from a mentee that I'm working with all the way from Australia. So this is
faithfully speak in an Australian accent for the rest of the stream?
No, I will not. I wish I had a good one. Otherwise, I would. I probably would. No, but yeah, my mentee Fuller is his one of his board games that he's been working on for several years, and it actually I'm really proud of it. Proud of them because of all the things that they worked on. I can see that they've spent so much time working on this game that it comes out very fluid. It plays very easily, and the biggest thing we're looking for is actually trying to nail down speeding up the game, and that's going to be something that I am going to be testing a new mechanic for with people. So we have 4 people playing currently. If there's not 2 more people in the next 3 minutes here, then we will proceed on without it. But again, we probably won't be able to play the full experience, but we're going to see how far everyone can get as we test out the new mechanic. But the quick download is if you have not created a Tabletopia account, it is a free tabletop gaming software, very similar to Tabletop Simulator. But since it is free, it of course does not have all the high premium aesthetics or functions that you would expect from Tabletop Simulator. With that said,
it's also web-based, so if you it just takes a minute or so to make an account. You can join in pretty quick.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of pros and cons with Tabletopia, but the fact that it's free, anyone can play. It's web-based. You can honestly play off your phone, which, with some technical difficulties, is accessible for everybody. So I think it's a great idea that they ended up working with Tabletopia instead. But I see there are 6 people here. We're going to start this match.
Real quick, I just want to let Joey know that he is invited into the event stage.
Oh, yes, please. Good day, Barbie. That is how that works, I suppose.
How do I switch to ready?
I'm just going to hit start now. So I'm
Okay,
just
cool.
force the match.
Then I guess I'm ready.
I'm sorry, Duroff Meister. We have hit our full capacity of 6 players.
I can pop out.
Oh, he is on as Joe E.
Oh,
in
okay,
some
that's Joe.
games. Yeah, no
Oh.
worries.
Okay.
Yeah, I never know who people are.
Yeah. But as we get this game started, I will go ahead and talk about the lore and the story of this game. It's a very lighthearted fantasy epic, just for friends, and targeted at like intro to board game players. And the one thing you'll see very apparent is that the goal is, of course, to stop the Dark Lord. Hence the name of the board game, the Dark Lord. And this is done by simply just gathering your party to collect relics of power, and then get to the Dark Castle to have one final combat before a counter deck runs out. How the gameplay works out is that on the end of any player's turn, they're going to reveal a card from their counter deck. As you move across spaces, goodness, is it loading?
Yeah, it's on where I am. It's just at 0% or.
Mine just says loading.
Okay, hopefully this pans out. We're gonna
I'm currently downloading, so I don't know if you're waiting on me or.
No, we should be okay. Hopefully it's going, but I will continue talking because again, this game has very simple mechanics and is very lighthearted for people to enjoy. So again, your basic actions on your turn is to move over spaces in order to make progress toward either a relic or toward the Dark Castle. And as you make movements, you're going to see that you're going to be moving over numbers. That number is a danger value, and at the end of your turn, you're going to reveal a card off their counter deck. And if your total danger value equals the value of the encounter card, you have to deal with that encounter, be it a fight, a trap, or even some good luck that happens. But the important part is that as you start your adventure, you have very low power, so you might want to be a little bit careful as you move forward. And if you happen to face an encounter that you cannot beat, you get downed, you become injured, and another player has to come rescue you. The bad news about being injured is that you cannot move. You can only draw an encounter card, which of course runs down the clock of the game. And as you complete encounter cards, you actually get to collect them in order to gain experience points to gain a higher base level. And I see there's progress. Wait, scene initialization. Hello, peoples.
We're getting there. Now, unfortunately, Peter, as someone who has taught 1 million board games to 1 million people, you know that now that we're looking at it, everything you told us, we need to hear again because we lacked the context, which is a shame because it sounded like you were being very cogent and explaining it very well. but none of our soft brains can handle it.
You are just fine. But I think the easiest part is to everyone grab your meeple. I'm automatically assigned a color as you sat down. So grab your meeple person, just so you know who you are.
Perfect.
And here are the classes. Yes, these are classes. We're going to shuffle these up.
I am still in loading, so I don't know if I will be in there.
Okay, and I see there's 2 of everybody. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to assign 2 cards per player. And these are going to be your classes. You can go ahead and look at these cards. You can choose one of these classes to be this game. Ooh, okay, here we go. 2 cards, and since Dale is coming in late, she'll get a choice of 2 cards that no one else takes. So the
Oh my goodness. The powerful sorcerer? Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So should I be? I put these in my hand. Should I have done that?
Oh yeah, no. You're basically just picking a class to put on your board. It's generally going to be like on the left side of your board here. So as soon as
I
you
pick
have...
one of these 2.
Correct. Yes. And then I'll take your whatever card you don't want on this little pile right here in the center of the board. Oh yeah, that works out too. We'll just stack them up here. But yeah, if you haven't, viewers at home, if you haven't seen Tabletopia, it is again very, very good. A base
very,
board.
very free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a comparing it to other solutions like Tabletop Simulator, which is the more popular version of this. Like you say, there may be some features missing, but there's a kind of a polish to this experience that has Tabletop Simulator beat. I think there's like some things it's better at and something it's worse at.
Oh, I am blue. I'm actually in this game. Okay, I guess we'll try that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I'm actually in this game. My thing has been loading this whole time, so maybe.
I was assigned white. I think is that just spectator color?
No, why don't you play blue then? Because I needed to not be. I needed to be spectator color. Can you pick up things? Yeah, okay, cool. You are
okay.
blue. You're blue.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I'm impressed at the acumen that they could license this art from Hasbro and from.
Good. So this, of course, is just all placeholder art, which is going to be perhaps featured down the road in another talk for next month about how using placeholder art is just fine. What's important is that whatever you use for your game is that it's representative of what you want the final product to be. So.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's so true.
Yep. But yes, Anthony, go ahead, choose a class, and then discard the other one.
So while we're waiting for Dale to load in, and then so she can pick her class.
Don't think I'm gonna be able to load in, so you guys
is it just not happening?
play without me. Yeah.
Yeah, it really isn't. There's 3 steps to the loading. There's the one where the white bar goes across. Then there's the one where you're waiting and nothing happens, and then there's the one where the yellow one loads the 14 megabytes. Dale's stuck at the first one.
No. Okay. We'll play this out with 5 heroes.
Yeah.
Just go without me. I'm gonna close my window.
It happens. Okay. But what we basically can say here is that you can assign. We'll bring everyone here now at the Castle of Light. Hooray, Castle of Light.
Ooh.
My favorite place.
Huzzah. Okay, so as I said before, your basic movement, you get 3 actions per turn, and the most basic action that's most important to the game is just movement. And that movement is just you can move 1 space. And you can move up to the 3 spaces, but again, your total danger value is the total value of all the numbers that you moved across. So if green player has spent all their 3 movement to go here, they have a danger value of 4. They would reveal a card off the top of the danger deck and be like, oh, a danger of 4, which means you have to fight this Hogger, which is just a no. Don't worry about it. But you see that the green hero has a base combat value on the lower right, and you also get to roll a d6, which is light fantasy fun. So if you roll that die, and it is equal to or greater than the combat value, you win. And if you don't, you lose. Which means if you win, you would collect this as an experience point. And if you lose, you would just go down, which would flip your person down, and someone else has to come revive you.
Okay. How do you roll a die in the tabletop? Is it just
you
R?
I think you get R. Yeah, you
so
push
it's just
R
like
to roll.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
Like this. Oh, it's another 6.
You can't shake it. You have to hit R. It's animated. We'll know if you're rolling or not. Okay.
There we go.
We only have 3 dice, unfortunately. Can I make copies? I cannot. Can I copy this?
We can share.
I know, but that's going to be something new we're going to be testing out here. So normally, players would take their turns individually, one at a time. But in order to speed this game up, everyone will be making their decisions simultaneously.
Ooh.
This
So
is the
that's-
mechanic you're testing.
Correct. Yes, we're testing this simultaneous play.
Okay.
For notoriety, we're gonna have a Dark Lord that's gonna be here, drawn from a randomized Dark Lord deck. So every encounter will be different. But you would find out who it is if you actually got to the point, or maybe you'll find some information through the game. But with all of that said, those are the basic actions. Are there any questions as we go forward?
So you walk through the movement, and you could say you can move up to 3. And the example you gave me. Sorry, I'm just stepping all the way through your example now.
Yes, go ahead.
You moved me 3, and then I have 4. But then I just drew the first card off of this. So what does the 4 have to do with anything?
Oh, because that is the value. So you always draw the top card, and the danger value happens to be on the lower left of the card. So if I reveal the second one, you can see that this danger value is 8, and this is a much more dangerous creature.
So this would not apply. I only face a danger if it's 4 or below.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one just happened to be 4, and I was.
Yes, they happen to match nicely.
Yeah.
Can we do anything else with action points?
Yes. So if you look at your hero abilities, your powerful sorcerer, you can see here is that on your combat you get an additional D4, but your base power is 1, so you have a much lower base. The mighty warrior, of course, can see that they can hold 1 more magical relic. Most players can only hold 2.
So swole.
You have the righteous paladin. You have to roll a total value of 6 to heal a player. So getting a +1 heal makes the paladin a little bit easier to revive somebody when they're downed. And you also get +1 on undead demons, and a special action you can remove a curse from yourself or an adjacent hero. Which
Thank you. I read that as remove a couch effect from it.
Yes, remove a couch. Get lifting, peaceful. The Lone Ranger actually gets 1 more action per turn, so they could actually go an extra space if they're feeling fancy. They also have an aura, which you can see if they would cause you to draw another counter card, you can ignore it. It's very fancy.
Okay.
The Noble Cleric almost has guaranteed heals. Pretty much has guaranteed heals. And the Daring Road we're not going to talk about because Dale's not here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So those are your hero abilities. One thing I will mind again is that another player has to heal you. So it's highly recommended to stay in groups of 2 or 3 with another player. In case you do get down, you have somebody that can bring you back up. Standard Left 4 Dead style gameplay. Stay in parties so you can bring someone up in case something goes down.
Ethan, would it make sense to go through a round of like people playing 1 at a time so we can see what a round is like?
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah. So as you said, let's do that. Again, the goal of the game is to collect these relics, which of course are locked. And what you'll do with these relics is that as you go into that space and you have successfully passed your your encounter for the turn, you will flip this token over and draw the appropriate matching relic out of the relic deck. Each of the relics are very cool. Some of them are just simple like this. As you read this one, that says, the Holy Avenger. You get +1 power against undead and demons, and gives you +2 power. Yes, this is going to be a big matter because the Dark Lord has a total power of 10 per player, plus whatever base stat it has.
Oh boy.
Yes, so each player will still get a D6 roll against the Dark Lord, but you still need these powerful relics in order to do
man,
so.
we really could have used Dale probably.
Yeah, I was like,
No.
man, I just made that thing 10 more.
No, you
10 more
so
power.
each hero has to carry their own weight. Is what matters here. But yeah, why don't we go ahead with Red as lane? You can go ahead and start your turn and take your 3 action points as you like.
Yeah. One more. We all sound like we are on the same side. Is this a co-op game?
This is a fully cooperative game. Yes.
Very cool. All right. Boop. Should I boop it? If I were to stay here, what would I be able to spend my action point on something else?
If you had another ability like a relic or another like one of the other hero classes have abilities.
Oh, you hate to have an action go to waste, and this
I
is a way to teach the player early that maybe you should use all your actions.
That's fine.
All right. Well, it doesn't call me the powerful sorcerer for nothing. So let's go.
So you have a danger value of 4 because you move a total of 4. We'll flip this card, and it's it's a trap. So it's a difficulty. You must roll a 2 or higher to succeed. So roll your d6.
All right.
Oh, but it's not combat though, right?
And do that. There we go. That was a roll.
Oh my, was that really a roll?
Let's hit the R button here.
Okay, there we go. A 2! Just barely. So you successfully passed the challenge. You gained 1 experience points. Having 3 experience points is equal to a level, which you will turn in for get one of these, which is, of course, just a +1 power.
Oh, very nice. Where shall I... Oh, owning this is an experience point. I don't need to mark it anywhere.
Correct, yes.
Okay, cool.
But that is Red's turn. That's it. Going to blue. Where would you like to go?
I'm not so powerful, so I'm just gonna go 2.
2. All right. And your danger value is 2, and you have met this crazy lava trap. But since your danger value is lower, nothing happens.
Oh.
Yay!
Wow. Yay.
I'm going to go ahead, quick shuffle these back in.
Danger values seem really, really high.
Yes. As you can see, as you go deeper into the Dark Lord's territory, the numbers do get higher. So eventually you will be facing much dangerous cards.
And the Forbidden Mountain had really dangerous thing. I guess that's why it's forbidden.
Yes, it is.
And so the utility of, say, the 15 is to basically guarantee that whatever card you draw, you will face.
Yes.
More or less. Okay.
Yep. But that was blue's turn. Goes to yellow.
All right, let's do it. Let's split the party. I'm going south.
Phil, what a hero.
Somebody had to do it.
I forget exactly. I'll do this for us. What is the max movement again? I cannot recall.
3.
3. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta
I
get
have
those
a question.
treasures.
What's the incentive to try to move quickly in this game?
Oh, because if the game is over when the counter deck is done, so it's automatically.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh,
it's a timer.
Where's that bridge troll at? Show me him.
That's the
Foul
bridge.
creature.
Show me bridge troll.
Oh my god! It's...
pretty close.
So you were 2 away, but so you do not fight that owlbear.
Oh, that's nice. He's just a
right.
docile creature.
Yeah.
I
Moving on to Mark.
I think I will use because I get an extra action, so I will go all the way over
The
here.
full distance.
That's a 6.
With a danger value of 6. So let's see what you got. You have. Okay, all right. You stayed safe. The witch did not find you.
It feels like there's enough variety, and because it's a random deck, there's enough high cards in there that 6 didn't actually feel. It felt a little bit more like a coin flip than a real big danger to me.
Yes, good. As a Lone Ranger, I'm glad to see that you are wise in the ways of adventuring.
I mean, I say that, but I could have got a 6
exactly.
that murdered me. So how smart am I?
Go, Joey. Where would you like to go?
Yeah, I think the cleric and the righteous paladin gotta stick together.
The healer.
That's so good.
Well, the alternative would be me just going this way and leaving.
No, listen, we're both healers. So. Let's stick together.
The closest treasure is up here.
Mark,
if you want to.
But yes, proceed. You can go ahead and draw your card from the encounter deck if you like.
Okay.
And you can flip it with F, and you do not fight.
Ooh. Hooray!
The lizard law.
We're not fighting.
Okay.
Good
Is
lord.
the discard for this? Just
Someone take care of these creatures on this bridge. It's so close to town.
Yep. But as long as you're playing it safe and not causing too much noise, the monsters don't find you.
Yeah.
But that is the basics of the game, and you basically play this out until you either win or lose. And we can proceed. I believe everyone has seen how the game plays. Everyone should now be able to take their turn simultaneously to move how many ever spaces they'd like, remembering their total danger value, and then drawing an encounter card.
Did we restrict it to 1 turn at a time? Make sure we're all connected at the end of each turn? Or does it matter?
No, so this 1 turn happens at the same time. So everyone take how many movements you like.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yep.
And then we all draw.
Yep, everyone draw a card. Yep, everyone draw a card. And then flip your cards on your board so you know that you're fighting.
Fight.
Did people encounter danger? I see blue for sure. Definitely did.
Oh, I'm safe.
Red, you're good.
Danger
so
here.
You did not.
My
Are you
twin
fighting
high-fived
dude?
me.
Oh my god. Oh wait, no. The danger is 10, so you do not fight that.
Yeah, we high-fived. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was chill.
Oh, okay.
Go about your day.
Yeah, so you can set that one away. But we have blue in a fight.
Okay.
Okay, so I assume active player still means me, even though we're all simultaneous.
Yep. So your own danger is. Oh no.
No.
Your danger was definitely higher than 4, right?
Yeah, it was 6, and so his power is 6, and I rolled a 4 total.
Yep. So you are downed.
If only there was someone to heal you.
Well, anybody can heal me. I chug potions great, apparently.
Yep. So that means that is the round. All cards have been drawn. You may proceed again. So
Okay,
someone else.
how does healing work, Peter?
So healing is 1 roll per attempt. So
Okay.
as someone were to move over to them and attempt to heal, they would
Yep.
cost 1 action to do so.
1 action there. Okay,
Can
and
he
then
be adjacent or has to be on the same space?
On the same square.
ooh, okay.
Yep.
All right, and then how do I execute this? Do I just roll a dice?
Still do want to go this way.
Just roll a dice.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
We're
go.
going
Minus
to that
15,
mountain,
hold
boy.
on.
Oh my god, you got it. He
I
is back
did-
on his feet.
Oh, do I have to roll a 6 to do it?
Yes.
Yes.
It
So
said
the-
one of my abilities is I get heroes get +2 to revive me. So
Okay.
I'm so
I only
sorry,
did
Phil.
4.
I'm so sorry. Didn't mean it.
Listen, they didn't teach me to read. We're going to that mountain. Let's go.
What a hero. What a hero.
That's the spirit.
Okay.
I think that's 4. You can't move that far.
Oh, Peter,
Oh,
here's a question.
sorry,
I'm
sorry.
revived now, but in my turn, do I skip my turn?
Yes, because you were downed at the start of your turn.
Actually, I'm gonna go that far too.
All players get +1 danger. I just want you to know that.
Yes. So
Oh.
we
Who
have
did this?
Oh, so
it was Lane.
So the +1 danger is when you all draw your card, you have to kind of wait until everything's resolved before you decide know whether you actually need to face it or not. Then.
I
Okay.
want the XP.
This is actually a permanent.
What?
So danger,
God has shown me
That's
the
permanent?
way.
there is a permanent +1 danger on the board now.
Oh
This is
my
the
goodness.
blessed path, my cleric brother.
Yes.
We've done it. We're
Okay,
going
so,
in the right direction.
What is? We should probably summarize a little bit what's going on here. So,
Yes.
Lane, you drew. You have an encounter, and you drew that +1.
Yes. Correct.
One
This
danger.
is just XP. I'm gonna flip this so it
Oh,
doesn't.
right.
confuse
What
people.
else we got?
So the Mighty Warrior was actually downed at the time, so their encounter is null because they did not get. You do not get to face.
That was the
if you're
encounter from last time. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
What do we got for Phil? You make a wish. Ironically, you revived a hero, but you can also choose one of the other two. So
What?
Discard the Lone Ranger from play, please.
Get out. That, I
And
just
the
think
card.
it was the ranger.
I've been having really ridiculous luck. I think.
okay.
Wait, oh yeah, so yeah, it's kind of useless as I'm guessing here.
I
then
guess
at
if
this
we
point.
want to
You can move another
teleport
hero to another
anyone.
hero, or you
Yeah.
can move another card from play, which
Do
happens.
they get a choice, or can I just steal them
You
away?
get a choice. You get a choice. Generally, they have to agree. It's a polite, friendly game, cooperative.
Yeah, thank you. It's also miracle, and God said so. So I'm a paladin. So
So, what option would you like to choose? Sir Paul?
let's bring the wizard over this mountain.
What? Do you really want
Do you
Joker at the
agree?
same time? Do we, like, you can get rid of this thing, right?
Yeah, that
Or
might be a good
I
idea.
can't fight him.
You can't. Yeah, you can. You
no,
move.
I only moved for a total of 4. So I
Oh,
moved
for
them up.
4. Okay,
Yeah.
so this doesn't. Okay.
Right,
Fine.
here.
I'll move over to your stupid mountain.
This is
Very well. Wish has been granted.
has been decreed.
Okay, I drew a card. I took my 4 actions again, and I
Yes.
got a card that gives me 3 more actions. And
Yeah,
I can
so-
retrieve a magical relic before or after making these actions. That's the part of the game I don't know quite enough about yet.
Yes. So if you were to happen to be on a relic space, so if you happen to be like on this really close one, you could have retrieved the relic before taking your additional actions.
Oh, does retrieving a relic what does it take to retrieve a relic normally?
Honestly, just end your turn on that space.
Oh, so
And
this
you
doesn't
have
really.
this-
Oh, I see what you mean. So if I had gone here, but then I wouldn't have drawn this encounter card,
Yeah, yes, you would have drawn this because you would have been here on this space.
and this also draws encounter cards.
No,
But,
yeah, so
but
you
it's worth
always
but it's
draw
worth
an
0
encounter.
danger.
Yeah, that particular card has that space has worth 0 danger. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use my 3 to land on that space, and
Okay.
and then I will draw. I kind of wish I'd have gone somewhere with lots of high numbers because I wouldn't. It says
You had no idea you would have found the Aurora Rush.
no idea. Yeah. And so then I draw this relic.
Not yet. Actually, let me read this card. Does it say draw another card?
It says before or after.
Oh, then yes, by all means.
Yeah. So, but the question is, wouldn't I have been able to do that anyway if I ended my turn on a relic?
Oh, but you still have to get your encounter card. That's what matters here. So you have to survive this next encounter with a danger of 10.
No, because the additional actions don't cause you to draw a new encounter card.
Then you are correct. This is again not my game.
I mean, I know. I mean, Peter, I know I'm up for a relic here. I just need you to help me out here with this.
Right, yes. So so you are correct. That card says don't draw an additional counter card. So we're going to unlock your relic.
Ooh.
And see what it is. You can press L to unlock it and tell me which one it is.
Okay. Ooh, that was a fun noise. It is lipstick. No.
It is the dagger from the rogue hero in
Thank
Hearthstone.
you. Thank you for saying exactly that.
It's not a Pat Benatar cover.
No.
Okay. Cool.
You have received
Whoa.
that dagger. What is it called? The Quicksilver dagger. Once returned, you may re-roll a die.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing great, folks.
Yes, this Lone Ranger is killing it. Why is everyone huddled over here?
Because we wish to conquer the mountain for the.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take on the Dark Lord myself then.
Yeah, I mean clearly. But yes, moving on. Lastly, to Joe E, whose danger value was lower than their centaur, does not break the centaur. Correct.
Yep. Hey,
Okay.
I got 4.
Then we
This one.
proceed to the next round.
Bill.
You may take your actions.
I mean, I think we all know what we have to do here.
Listen to me, brother. We are filled with glorious purpose. We must take the mountain.
Proceed to your take your actions, knowing that there's +1 danger.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
so
that's just there to stay. Okay.
so this would have been if I had to draw a thing, it would have been 11.
Yeah, we gotta go here.
Where's your spirit, Phil? There we go.
Oh, can multiple people get a relic?
No, only
At least one of us can, though, Joey.
Well, then why would we all go there?
encounter, they all can as long as the player survives their encounter, they can pick up the relic. If they're
Easy.
downed and injured at the relic space, they cannot pick up the relic. Someone else has to still rescue them first.
I see.
Okay. Again, tally up your total danger.
Two.
Draw your
Oh yeah.
flip your counter cards, and we will resolve it going lane forward.
My God, we've been ambushed on the road.
Rainy and cozy over here, guys.
On a quiet day, well done, Lane. What do we have for Phil? For Anthony. You have you had to spend a quiet day. You're chicken on the road. Well done.
Yeah, he's drinking beer.
Yeah, having a good time.
Awesome. I'll sit down with him.
Phil, what did you encounter?
I'm going to die.
Got an ambush? Plus
Okay.
two danger.
I also have an ambush.
Basilisk.
Basilisk.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so this is a double encounter. You must first. Wait, is your total 8? Yes, obviously. Yes, plus 2 danger. You have to survive the basilisk basilisk gaze. So you must roll a die, and with a check of 4 or higher.
Easy. God is on my side.
No, you are down. You were immediately injured.
Foul creature.
But if you had survived his gaze, you would have had an actual combat roll. But since you were injured, your turn is over.
So I drew orcs! Exclamation point. It's equal to the active player's danger, which is 5 + 1, so that's 6.
Yes.
So I have a 3. So I need to what's the math on that?
You need a 3, so you can roll a die, and you get a Quicksilver dagger to re-roll if you want.
Wait, I'm sorry. But the danger or the power is 6. So
So you must equal to or greater.
Then 6.
Yes.
So I need to roll a 3. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
We got the 8 out of 9 here.
Blah,
Nice.
blah,
Did
blah,
it!
blah. I got it. Okay.
You destroy the orcs, they become EXP for you.
Cool.
Okay, moving on to our Joey, we have a lone kobold.
An ambushing lone kobold.
He came up upon you. Roll your die.
All right, just R it.
Yep. You successfully
Yeah.
defeat the kobold.
I really like how this game makes it look like you just pick up the die and slam it back down on the table.
Wait, you shouldn't have put that card away. You get it as experience, right? Or
Oh,
was a
not
different
the- not
card.
One was an ambush.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, I get the one.
Do these quiet days count as experience or no?
No.
Oh, do they count as a relic victory?
Oh, yes, they do. You may collect that relic.
Okay, I hope that I can flip this guy somehow.
You have to L to unlock it first.
L. Ooh, very fancy.
And
All
what do you
right.
have? You have
It is a frenetic Ifrit.
Whoa.
Plus 2 chili peppers.
Ooh, love it.
So this is what is this? The dancing scimitar. This doesn't count as magical limits on relics you can wield.
Ooh, cool. All right.
Okay. Top of the round, make your movements, draw your cards, and we'll resolve them one by one.
Do you have to be in the same spot as someone who's downed to revive them?
I have a name.
You can move, revive, and then move and fight again.
Yes.
You may call me Garl Vinland, the righteous paladin.
Garl,
save me.
Your adventure
I'm
will.
thinking I'll do this, and
I'm just
then
gonna step right over.
and then go over to the 15.
Okay. So Lane has chosen to move. Once you're there, you will roll the die. You need a total value of 6 to revive.
All right, I will roll the die. I got a value of 11.
Yes, you got it. So he's back up, and you still have an additional action point. But it did cost.
Reviving takes an action point.
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go back here then.
Yep. And
So,
Phil, you
7.
just got revived, so you do not get any action points, but you will still draw an encounter card.
Good. Yes, the basilisk once again.
Returns. Yeah.
All right, I have to alert people about increasing darkness.
Uh-oh.
Total of +2.
Yep, there we go. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah. Looking over to Anthony. Anthony, you have found some traps. Will you survive?
I feel like I got the easiest card. Good.
Yes.
With it.
That was it. There's always a chance. That turns into XP. We have Phil, which is now fighting not a troll because they did not move, so they have danger value of 2. So you survived the troll.
I have to fight this thing.
You do. Oh my.
Yeah.
Fight that thing. Good luck.
Oh yeah, I have to roll a 6, but I get 2 tries.
Yes, you do.
Wah, wah. Wah, wah.
Oh, you are downed.
How do I down myself?
You just push F for the meeples. Nice.
Is it really F?
Oh, it's the flip.
In
But yeah.
respects.
Yep.
And then what happens to this card?
It just gets discarded. So
Okay.
you can put it over into the discard pile.
So now I just like all my turns are forfeit until someone reaches me.
Correct.
Okay.
Someone else, and this is the whole staying together kind of thing. But
I wonder who's that going to be.
Joe, it is on you. I don't think we've seen your encounter yet. What do you have?
Yeah, I got this kobold.
Oh, they like you a lot.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's another one.
Kill the whole clan.
He's avenging his brother.
Yep. Fight that
So,
kobold.
I gotta get a 4. Oh, I guess a 2 or higher. I add my 2.
You defeated yet another kobold.
All
They
right.
call me the Cobalt Slayer. How does experience work? I have 2 now.
As soon as you hit 3, you level up and gain +1 power.
Oh, cool.
Top of the round. Take your actions. Draw your encounter.
Right. God bros, I've got a question for you. Do we want Okay, I see how it is.
Wait, no, sorry. What do you want to say?
Well, I just want to know like what's our strategy here because
I
obviously we could just
think
beeline
I
it.
should go because I just get a single bad encounter, right? And
Yeah.
then,
Right.
And then again on your way back.
Should we all try at the same time, or should we just like sort of hang out at the
Oh,
at the
maybe.
base camp here?
That'd probably be fine.
I mean, we could all just like
Listen,
just beeline.
Well, no,
God
that's a really
wills
good
it.
point
Let's
because
go.
if you all go and then 2 of you get downed, then
Yeah.
one of you can use your turns to revive, and then
Right.
you can
Yeah.
all move back at the same time.
And
Whereas
if
if
someone
one person
gets-
goes and gets
yeah.
downed, then the next person will
The
go
thing
and get
is,
downed.
though, the reviver has to go up there too. So I think that there's just like basically no way around that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's either you,
We'll
you
have to
do,
do it
so you have to
anyway.
do it all now or later. So you might as well do it all now.
The question is, do I hang back here in this middle
Yeah,
spot with you 2 or not?
Yeah. Why don't we hang out in the middle spot so you don't have to move to revive?
Yeah, sure.
There you
Okay. Sweet. All right.
go. Are y'all committed?
This is great.
Wait.
God wills it.
Unworthy value of like 30 something danger. Draw
Wait,
your
nobody went to this
No
one?
sweat.
It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be another kobold.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna die.
Oh,
Oh, good lord!
Teres, nice.
The
Congratulations.
devil himself.
Nice work. I got another kobold. Just kidding.
Oh, okay.
So I would say if we wanted to go with the phonetics, Lane would happen to roll 2 dice or roll a dice and try and fight this 100 value, which is actually able to be beaten within inside internal game mechanics. So you can kill the Tarrasque.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Can I just walk backwards and magic missile him forever?
no.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna die.
He's up to ask.
All right.
And resist. Okay, yeah. So
I will pay my respects to myself here. There we go.
Yes. Anthony. Good
No.
luck.
No, you're
Oh,
right.
Anthony.
I think
Anthony.
we're.
Oh, nice seeing you here, Mark.
So
That's gonna be
what?
game.
Yeah, I was starting to think about this. Like, this game eventually we're all gonna fall over. Like, unless we all stick together the whole
Well,
time.
I think we've been going like way too hard. Is the
Yeah.
Right, but the like Lane only had to move once because into the 15s or whatever to get his kill. What knocked me down, I only took 2 spaces to get, and I would have had to roll a 6. There's a certain point where like the numbers are just against you, no matter how slowly you walk it.
Well, I think the problem is that you two didn't stick together over there, and then our problem is we're going on for the 15s when we just really shouldn't, probably.
Yeah, 15s is like, it seems like super late game stuff. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
we have only gone through like 15% of the cards.
Yes.
Right.
I would say the plan that you guys have several revivers to work on one space actually might pan out. So let's
Maybe.
Yeah, well, what I mean about I'm still motivated to go for the high numbers because I could draw a danger 3 and take care of it just
Yeah,
as
that's
easily.
true.
You know what I mean? Like I know
reward.
I'm going to draw a danger, but how likely is it going to be? Like those are still pretty good odds. Or at least they feel like good odds. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah,
But the potential downside of dying just seems also really big.
Yeah. Which makes me too. I will eventually learn to never take any risks ever.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of payoff. Like it almost looks like there's like a small progression that you'd want to build up a little bit before you started going for the treasure chest. Because
Right,
you want to
get a bunch of encounters so you can level up, so you can be stronger. And we haven't played enough of this game yet, but it feels like that's a little too slow.
I totally agree because 3 encounters has so far, based on like the number of things that we've actually fought, meant like 7 turns or something.
Yeah, like maybe
it seems like we take a long.
if the danger level is lower, maybe you just get that point. You know, or a rainy day, or the whatever that 0 was. You can just get that too.
Game.
Yeah,
That's
like
interesting. That's a reward for that. Yeah.
Nope, this is good. This is all really good feedback, and I'm glad that we're able to record this so I can send it to Fueler so he can take a look at it.
Now let's see the 2 people surviving in the the ass end of this map.
Well, about that.
Time to die, Pit Lord.
You got this.
Met
Oh,
your
it's a
match.
It's a demon. Oh, easy.
Oh, yeah.
Therefore, I
It's
have +1. Yes.
What?
Oh, is that enough?
No.
No.
One away. You were
10.
1 away.
Yeah.
You could have
Oh
done
my
it.
god.
Glorious purpose fills my death.
I didn't realize this was. I didn't realize this was a foregone conclusion. All right.
All right,
Yep.
it's all on you.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
I guess I gotta get a.
Sorry, Mark. What is your encounter card?
What? I
You
don't
still
have
draw
an
an
encounter.
card. You always draw an encounter card whether you're down or not. So you always get one.
That feels
Ooh.
unfair.
A goblin came up and rummaged your body, so you were fine.
Wait, I don't understand. So nothing happens?
happened.
Oh, so
Yes.
this is because there's some of these cards are good.
Yes.
I guess it's to make
that
the
feels
game keep
thematically.
progressing,
I mean,
right?
listen, I would love to not be out of action right now, but like thematically, it feels weird for me to be downed but still have encounters.
No, that's fair.
Just being eaten slowly by a goblin.
Right, but the
All right.
only encounters that will
All the
apply to me are
marbles
things
here.
that benefit me
All
if
right.
I'm down.
All right, just 4 or higher. 50-50 for all the marbles. Here we go.
Flip a
That's
coin.
right.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
We
Let's
got
go.
it.
I defeated the first enemy. I have to draw another encounter card.
Do you?
Level
Yeah.
up though, because you
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
experience.
Oh, nice. Oh, this is gonna be easy then.
God
Good.
is on his
Yeah.
side. Yes, the church.
Yes.
Oh God, a rock.
Blockade.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
Oh.
So
Wait,
you
what?
you've encountered a blockade. So this space that you are all on now,
Okay.
players can leave but cannot re-enter.
Wrap this here.
You
Go
have
for
to
it.
you have to sacrifice.
Block me in.
All players can leave this space but cannot re-enter
My God.
until it is removed, which is a foregone, encounter that will probably come up at some point. But
I know what I have to do.
Don't
I
go,
don't
you're
know
gonna
if
go
it's
for the
strict
treasure.
to it.
yourself in.
so,
All right.
with one active player standing, Joe, what would you like to do with your turns?
Can I revive 2 people in the same
Absolutely.
turn?
Each attempt is 1 roll.
I will do that. I will first revive the paladin just
You
in
got it.
case I can't revive again. So let's do it.
Yep. Roll the dice.
I
You have a
did
body
it.
of 6. You are standing back up, Paladin.
Yes.
You have
I will
2 more
next
actions.
revive the powerful sorcerer.
You got it.
Oh, thank you so much. Oops.
I've done it.
Did it.
There we go.
All right, now what, boys?
You have
We
one
must
more.
take the mountain. We
I
don't
think
have
I'm
a
just gonna
choice
chill.
now.
Well,
with
now
my last action.
yeah, you
No,
can
we gotta
move.
go. We gotta leave.
Wait, there's a blockade. We can't come back here.
No, we gotta go down. We gotta go down.
Yeah, so you can leave the space.
What if we find a
But we
relic
can't
that
come
lets us
back, and
teleport?
I'll be damned if I died for not having this treasure.
Phil!
Hey, Joe, with your last AP, what would you like to do?
Can I stay here?
Yes, you can.
You
I
still
will
draw
do
an
so
encounter,
then.
don't you?
Correct. So there will be, but their danger value is 2.
He's
Oh,
farming.
yeah. I'll just
So
do
all-
that.
So
Well,
all
I don't
players-
want to, walk a single 15 space
Exactly.
and fall
So
over.
all players draw your encounter cards and see what happened.
Oh, good.
Good.
Oh, you have to fight that though.
I did that.
Oh, hey, I guess what, folks? Another increasing darkness.
Oh,
Even
nice.
more darkness.
Cool.
My
we-
favorite.
Another Medusa. Oh, okay.
This man's supposed to do against
Sounds
such
like
reckless hate.
I like this progression of us drawing these increasing darkness cards. The worry I have though is what if you draw a lot towards the beginning of the game? Is that something that you've seen?
Isn't
happen
that what we
before?
did?
Well, I guess I don't know how many are on the deck.
Yeah, there is a number of them. Again, I do not know the deck composition, but there is a number of them that do exist.
Mhm. Oops.
Ooh, prophecy.
Yes. So it looks like you get to look at a number of cards on the encounter deck.
Oh, we're up to me now.
Neat.
Yes.
Okay,
you
so
roll a die.
roll a die.
Ooh.
You may look at
2.
2 cards.
And you can re-roll that die, right?
Yes, you can.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have that ability. Yes.
In your
You
unconscious.
can look at 2
I felt a lot of good that did us. Okay, so
Would you like-
what do I do with these cards? Do I
Oh,
put
so
them-
This is effectively scrying.
we're
So,
just looking at it, right? Or can we put it on the bottom if we want to?
Yeah, at this moment you cannot, but now you can kind of signal saying, okay, well, you know what's coming up in the next 2 turns.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and also because we're all moving at the same time, just let's draw cards in the correct order then. So
Correct, yes.
someone who's going to get
Can we choose
a low,
order?
we should be able to, right?
Yeah. So this initial mechanic, only one player would go at a time. We're testing a new mechanic for simultaneous play, which I feel like is.
I'm not going to put these cards back. I'm just going to leave them here so I don't have to.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, the Cyclops should stay second so that Anthony has to fight that.
Yes.
And then there's the 3 additional, the heroic rush one, the 3 additional actions. So if anybody,
Yeah.
and you don't draw an encounter card, so anybody stuck here could use that to.
Well, it's gonna be me guaranteed because I think I have to go first.
Yeah. And also, I can't move, so.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna draw a card anyway, is what I'm saying. So it's always gonna be.
What we could
Wait,
do is
this-
we could have the person who draws the heroic rush use that to try to like run really far so he can revive these 2 over here quicker.
And then you guys can come
Yeah.
and revive my corpse. when I try
Exactly,
to do
yeah.
that.
You,
Nice.
you can
All
you
right.
get to move 6 spaces, and one of those is a 15. So yeah, just whoever does it's gonna.
This is only
Sure.
2s around here, so
Just hope for the best. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll do that. Sounds fun.
No. You have a danger value of 2 because you did not move, so you do not fight your demon.
right.
Okay. I will pause here because we have 5 minutes left for 9 o'clock,
Ugh.
and I would say we could
Let's go for the gold, baby. Come on, we're right here.
just to keep timer on the clock or keep time in mind. Like we could stop playing here and go straight to feedback. But I would say it's up to you guys. If you guys want to continue playing, it's we have this win-lose state. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we could just jump right into feedback.
We can let's play just another like 2 or 3 rounds. We can go over time a little bit. It's fine. Because that'll take us maybe 2 rounds.
Yeah,
Just to
like
see
it.
what
Yeah.
else is in the deck.
Yep.
Sure.
I mean,
Okay.
Seal
wh-
ourselves inside.
yeah,
here.
we're not gonna make it, but maybe can we just be revived just so we could play?
No, it
Whoa,
was-
little faith.
I pushed you up the mountain.
Wait, Joey, no!
I'm going in.
Joey,
For the church.
that is
Remember me.
Joey's action. You cannot have any influence upon Joey's choice. So
I won't leave you.
I would say the unfortunate news is no. If we are not going to be reviving any players, because this is going to be true to experience, and if that is part of your feedback, I'd like to hear it. So, so it looks like players are choosing to be blockaded, where Lane, the only sane one, has decided to go in.
Heroic death.
This is
Remember
terrible.
us.
Okay.
Tell stories of us, Lane.
Well, of course.
All right. So I've got
I
to
just
take
I
this,
just
right?
realized that Lane, you do actually have to draw an encounter card for this action, just not for the next batch.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Although you could have chosen to use none of your actions and then drew the card and then used your
how's this
3
work?
there.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I could have done that.
You still could have done that
Yeah.
in terms of the sequence.
Yeah, but then I would end up here either way.
Right,
So
you don't if you don't want to draw an encounter to deal with this 15 over 20, then you lose the 3, but that's probably a smart play.
oh, is that how that works, Peter? Can you confirm?
So the Horror Rush does not draw you additional cards.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna move over here because it does not draw me another card.
Correct. Yep.
No, right.
Okay.
You don't draw a card from that action, from those extra actions. You do
Right.
draw a card from your existing actions.
Yeah,
Correct, which
regular
was the
three.
heroic
And-
rush.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Blue. Sorry, Anthony. You found a demon, but he ignores you because you're down.
I'm dead. Laying dead.
Hello.
No,
Yes!
okay.
Oh my God. These bugbears.
So
Value of
it's 18.
yes.
Oh!
Wait, what?
Because it's
Yeah, you're
dangerous.
dangerous.
Oh, you guys said bug. I thought, yeah, you meant they're orcs.
I'm sorry,
so I was
orcs.
like,
I apologize.
Orcs.
Roll, buddy.
Oh, you were killing it on these 6s.
claim the mountain once again.
They are unfortunately not enough.
Remember me.
I'm just like running ahead of you. I didn't even notice that you got down.
I held them off. I held them off so you can get the treasure.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna RP this to make it look better.
Does
Mark
anything happen with this?
Oh no, Mark came across some traps, but then do not count because he is down.
I died.
Yes. We have dangerous headless knight who is undead.
Yeah, I
Which
get +3 power against undead, but
So-
I guess if I get a 6.
if you get a 6,
If
you
I get a
win.
6,
The chosen one.
let's see it. Oh,
Aw,
Fate's cruel.
now I'm also a headless knight.
yes.
Oh.
So the unfortunate part is that you are downed, my friend.
Sad. That's okay. Hey, Lane, come revive us.
There's a giant boulder in the way.
There is just a boulder hanging out.
You fainted
Which can be removed.
behind a mountain collapse. That's great.
Okay, we're gonna draw that card. We're gonna come back and save you. Don't worry about it. Okay, next round, moving here, then drawing cards.
Yep, all players draw your encounters.
So it could be the 3 of us as the fellowship, but we're gonna continue drawing through 5 cards a turn. Great.
Correct.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
found late.
Ooh,
A little,
that's what I'm looking for. That's good. All right.
and you get additional D4, so please.
Oh, look at that. Oh, thank you, Imp.
Oh, that's a dead imp.
Fantastic.
All other players, did you get an exciting event that will aid you because that exists?
No, the orcs are just eating me now.
You found more orcs.
From this zombie. Wish I could fight him.
Okay. All right.
There's a lot of stuff in this one space. Let me tell you. I just
Which way should we go, guys?
traps. I got
Through the forest?
monsters.
Through the forest? It is faster, but more
Yeah.
dangerous.
There is a cave of Ular, which is
Ooh,
good
there's
treasure in
that
there.
treasure.
Yeah.
Sweet
Ooh.
treasure.
I thought you were a powerful wizard. I guess I was wrong. I'm a
At this
hunter.
point, no amount of risk is worth it.
I want. Well, yeah, but like
The
okay,
optimal
but,
optimal play is to take the long way around one at
But-
a time.
But the problem is
No,
we
no,
know
no,
we know that we have 14 or fewer turns left, basically.
Right, but if you get downed by a single thing, which could happen anytime,
Correct.
you could draw a trap that could
Okay.
drag down you.
Or you
That
could draw
sounds
a
good.
I think
We
because
have
we're
to-
losing by so much, we got to take risks. You know.
We have to take
Here
high
comes the
variance
miracle.
strategies.
I mean, go ahead and do higher, but I'm saying like one at a time. But yeah,
sure.
just go for it. Yeah, because we don't.
14
Draw your
turns.
card.
14 turns. Let's go. Okay. Yes, we got
Oh,
this.
nice.
No problemo. Heck yeah.
Okay,
All right.
that's a level up to me. That looks like a level up.
Once
Boom.
we're all revived, Lane will have like 30 encounters.
Our level.
Yeah, you know.
Okay. Anybody else get anything relevant?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Moving
So
on.
we're walking 3 more here. Oops, sorry. Okay.
I'm
With a
excited.
total value of 6 plus 9. So 6 plus 3 is 9.
This speed mode works pretty good.
Can you heal someone adjacent or only on your the space you're on?
Only on the space you're on.
Oh, okay.
We got it. Low rolls.
Oh,
but
it's gonna
close enough.
happen.
That's why we call it EXP, baby.
Hey.
Okay. Nothing
All
wrong
right.
with others?
So time for some very slow resurrection.
Well, you can get both of us this turn because you can move once and heal twice.
But he has
Oh,
to roll
easy.
Yeah,
You're right.
roll that
I just have to
stick.
get nail the 1 in 36. Let's go. All right. Action point first.
Oh, you need a
Ooh.
6.
Action point the second. Action point the third. Oh.
No!
You're getting
Aw.
closer.
You were getting close.
That's true. Progress.
This
Look
game
at these
really
healing
zooms
potions.
when so many people are down.
Wait, Peter, start with this if this is the first time you played the game. Excuse me.
We're not. We're not talking about those. Please continue. Ignore.
I would be
delete,
alive.
delete. How do I
Still
delete?
gotta draw a friggin' card here. Okay, buddy.
Okay. I can't delete these. That's my thought.
Put a blockade piece on my position. Great.
Oh, okay then.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay,
Wait,
again, players
seriously?
can leave. Yes, players can leave this space, but cannot
Okay.
re-enter.
Are you supposed to lose experience when you die?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
Well, gone.
Oh.
Yeah, mine
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
At least according to this card
I
here.
never had
Yeah.
any.
Or
That's
yeah.
super harsh.
We're not. We're not working on that mechanic yet. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go for those lucky rolls. Let's go. Yes!
Revive.
Blue is up. And then we're going to go for the
Nice.
perfect turn over here. And
Hope I don't
then
die
roll
here.
for Mark.
Well, hold on.
Oh.
Don't you need to draw your encounter card first?
I
Or is
think
that-
that I do my action points first.
Yes,
Okay,
you spend
okay.
all your action points.
Am I up?
No, I rolled a 1.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
So I can fight now, right?
You can now fight.
Oh, I don't draw an encounter card on my next turn.
Oh, that's actually kind of nice.
I'm only at 6, so I don't fight the demon spawn.
Oh,
Correct.
I
Yeah.
guess I'll just put this here.
Yep, you can just hold on to that for the turn. Okay, we have 2 players that are up and running with
Wow.
55 cards left in the deck.
We're going to beat the Beige Lord in no time. Let's go. 1, 2. Yes! Mark is up!
Mark is up.
Hooray!
Oh.
And I have my
Look at you
full
go.
turn now, right?
You do not. 'cause
Okay,
you were
I-
down. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Make
I'm
a
just gonna
step
go
here.
2 as well.
Nice.
Oh, did you mean to? Yeah, thank you.
No. I couldn't draw it all the way.
Ah, son of a. Oh, I don't draw a card this turn. Never mind. Ignore
I
that.
don't have the option of fighting this ogre for XP, do I?
No.
Oh.
Is your danger high enough?
No.
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 Even with the +3?
Even plus
Did you? Oh, you only move 1 space, right?
Yeah. He didn't go as far. Okay.
Does Phil have to keep this curse, by the way?
No, they are technically down, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
All right, easy.
I love how both of the healers are the ones who.
I know. I was like, there was hope. There was hope there. I really thought you guys were gonna get there. Okay.
I
So-
assumed that the game was ending in the next few
Team
minutes.
Team living people. What's our strategy here? Do we want to like go for any relics, or do we want to go straight for the Dark Lord? Like, what are you feeling?
Well, in the interest of time, we should go straight for the Dark Lord because if we go for any relics, it'll be this again. So
True. Yep. Let's do it.
And you can join us right here on the same spot, right?
Yeah, 'cause
That's
they
right,
have
I
a
can.
problem.
Oh,
all my
yeah.
This
danger.
number 4.
So
So
danger.
Very nice.
Flip those cards. Draw
18.
and
There we go.
14, 15, 16, 17 for me.
the Dark Lord appears. Reveal the Dark Lord. Well, we got there. Remove this key.
And the top 20 cards. Holy
There's
smokes!
Oh.
And the game
reveal the
just
Dark
ended out of
Lord.
nowhere. Jeez.
Wait, what just happened?
We got
So-
milled for 20.
Yes, you did.
And then we find
Ah.
out who the Dark Lord is, right?
Yes. So you can go flip that over.
It's Voldemort.
It is Demon Lord. Demon minions get +3 power.
Ooh.
Oh, nobody's fighting a demon right now.
Nope.
Not in this case, no.
Oh.
But I'm
Oh,
fighting.
So once it's revealed, that takes effect.
I'm fighting something like 20 orcs. So
You're fighting 20 orcs.
yeah, So
You can roll.
I'm
a
gonna roll
die.
anyway.
Roll.
No, whatever that was, it was not okay.
The orc got him.
Well, it's a good thing we're here with you.
Yeah.
But we're working together.
But the truth is so I moved 1, 2, 3, 4. If I had, because of the 3 already, if I had moved 2 spaces, which would have been conservative, that would have been 9 danger, and I would have drew those orcs. So like, I'm in a situation where like, because those orcs seem to be kind of common, we've drawn them a number of times.
Yes.
Like, it seems like I'm basically automatically down something like 12% of the time, just based on those odds alone.
Correct.
Punishment.
Yes. Like, there is a we can. I could say you guys want to wrap up the last few turns. There's only 25 cards left, which means
We have to
Let's
get to the Dark Lord. We've gone this far.
Yeah, you might as well make the attempt.
We'll trip and get up all the way there.
The fellowship is broken.
Yeah.
Been broken.
So Anthony, I feel like we can only really spend like a turn trying to revive Mark here, right? Because
Yeah, well, we got 6 chances at it. That should statistically get.
Yeah,
He's
unfortunately,
already
it
dead.
also.
Go to the Dark Lord.
ooh, okay. I have
I'll
3
get two.
failures.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
but
I am gonna move 1 just to try and get something.
yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh, all right. I think made a kind of conflict.
Oh, corruption.
Cool, more corruption.
Quiet day.
2-headed
dancing
ogre.
with
These
elves.
So
ogres look-
so 6 automatically. So basically anything kills us now.
How does one dance with the elves?
Oh no, we're at.
You're dead. It doesn't matter.
Can I dance with the elves?
You in fact roll a d6 and that's.
Oh, it's a quiet day, so you just...
Alright.
Oh, okay.
I'm
You have danced.
actually safe. So I'll move
Oh, by the way, we scry 5 here, so we're gonna pull
Ooh.
5 over here.
So you have a
Ogre.
visual.
Can we just stack these and count the number in the stack?
We
yes.
should-
Yeah.
Now they won't stack though.
Oh no, this is a mess. This is a mess. I'm gonna do it off to the
I think
side
they only
here.
stack when they're face down.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not
Like
sure.
the
how to-
accordion effect. We gotta go.
There we go. The
Oh, it's
accordion
beautiful.
effect.
Oh nope, I wasn't supposed to flip that whole thing. Okay, so does anybody want to face any
that's
particular thing here? Because I think we can rearrange these, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Are
so
there any
we can
demons?
rearrange them.
Yeah. So in this
Um,
particular case, you guys will be able to move these, make a powerful movement, knowing that you're going to be facing a specific event.
well, the
Ooh, good
traps are
point.
pretty good. If somebody lands on this 15, that traps would be good.
Exactly.
So we might want to save that one for the second
That
round.
succubus is
Great.
empowered.
We want this orcs
can't,
to
right.
be on Phil because we don't want any of that shit.
Yeah.
And then this demon is the highest like attack thing. Is that right? So that should be on Joey.
Right, and if
Yeah,
we can
the demon and the
engineer,
ogre looks like.
we have,
I
do we
think
have
I can
5
handle the
corruption
ogre
or
'cause
6
I've got-
corruption?
What's that?
Do we have 5 corruption or 6 corruption?
5.
6.
5.
Or is it 6? Yeah, it's 6. I'm sorry.
So
Yeah.
so you can move there, and then you could. Well, no, you'd still have to face the orc.
I think I
Okay,
can fight
thanks.
the ogre. I have +4, and then I roll 2 dice, so I think I'm pretty
Oh,
good
it is-
against that.
It is 5. My bad.
So so basically 8 is our reasonably 8 is the lowest
Yep.
risk. So we're pretty much
Yeah.
facing everything.
I'll take
Yeah.
the skeleton then, I guess, if that hasn't been claimed.
Sure. And then Mark
Health
can
doesn't-
deal with the spikes.
Yeah, but that feels like a waste because I mean I can get all the way to this
You'd
3.
be better at the skeleton, yeah.
But I
I
think,
think
it
we
should,
have to draw all of these.
should be-
though.
it
Can we
should
just
be-
give these out to the players?
it should
Yeah,
be
you
whoever
already
lands
are,
on
you
this
know.
15 should. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter,
I'll
does it?
take that.
No, I don't think any of us can land on it.
No,
No,
none of you are in
I know,
range.
but but we are going to get through all of them, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh,
draw
I didn't
them.
realize that. Of course. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, what a surprise! It's an ogre.
Fight it!
Okay, thank goodness. If
Oh.
I bricked that, I would have felt so dumb. Okay. So I have another level up, but I think I keep this haunt here next to me, right? To show that I have
It's
that curse.
permanent. yeah.
That is correct. You are cursed.
Okay.
I could get
Cool.
rid of it if I was alive.
If you
Haunting
and not so far away.
Hey, I got killed on a mountain and entombed. I'm gonna live forever.
Yeah, this is great.
The world will fall into darkness. but you'll be safe.
Perfectly
Spoiler
preserved.
alert, we have 3 turns left, sir.
I'm sorry. Yes, you have 3 turns. Please carry on with your next 3 turns.
Like a 58
Okay.
or something.
Yes, the
How
total
do we
power.
fight the Dark Lord, by the way? How does that even work?
So
It's a weird time to ask the question, but I would like to
but
know as well.
On the turn that all players are on the Dark Lord, you still draw an encounter, but again, your danger is technically 0 because you've not moved. But if you're on the area where the Dark Lord is, you as a group can attempt to attack it. And if all players agree to attack, you all roll your dice. If you succeed, you win. If you fail, you are all injured.
And so, wait, so all players have to reach the Dark Lord?
Oh, no, just whoever is there.
Oh, I see, okay. Because we can't do that.
Exactly.
And we add a roll together?
Yes, you
Plus our power?
collect, yep, every single, whoever is there contributes their combat value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then proceed with your actions, my friends.
Anybody got any read on where we should position ourselves on the anti-penultimate turn here?
It depends. Is this 15 the fight space or the big purple?
It is the actual purple, yes. It is the own space.
I'm gonna try and revive you, Mark.
Okay.
No. We'll try again.
Once.
We got one shot waiting.
Yep, let's go. Aw.
I'm wasting all your med kit. You're like pulling out band-aids and you're just like, oh, I get tangled up. Oh man.
These band-aids, why?
Oh, Goblin, easy XP. Let's go. I'm just gonna count that as XP right away.
So when you're downed, it's 2 danger regardless of corruption, or?
Yeah, so you would have your danger according with corruption, but since you are down, your event does not apply.
Oh.
There is a caveat for EXP, which I'm going to explain, and I'd like to hear your guys' feedback on, that if you do not roll a dice, you do not get the EXP.
Well, I totally need to roll them dice.
You are automatically out of value that auto wins, so you do not have to roll a die.
Whoa.
Right, but if he doesn't roll a die, he doesn't get the XP.
Exactly.
So he has to roll them even though he doesn't have to roll them.
Yeah, no. So the ruling is that if you have an automatic base power of up to win, you do not get the XP because you are not at roll value. Yeah.
I mean, I the rule totally is great. It accomplishes what it wants to. So at least on the purely mechanical thing, it does push you to actually challenge yourself. So I do like that.
Okay. But I am for you in that this game is hard and that players do need the EXP. That's where I'm at.
So, Anthony, I'm wondering, are you down as well?
I died. Yes, I did.
It's just you, powerful mage.
Do I even revive? I think that I do this turn and this next turn, right?
Well, you have to roll
still try to revive.
58.
58.
Yes, because his power is 10 per player plus.
What if I draw a quiet day?
10 per player fighting him at the time?
No, 10 per player.
Oh, yeah.
In the game.
Excuse me. What if I draw a quiet day, sir?
You draw a quiet day, but you still have to make an attack, like an actual attack value against the Dark Lord.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Okay. So
wait, do we have any
with,
do we have any confidence this is going to be any different?
Basically, right?
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
Go down swinging.
So I didn't end my turn there, so I'll just draw a card.
We all still need to draw an encounter.
Yes, everyone still draws an
That
encounter.
is correct. Oh, look at this! Another XP. Because I'm ignoring Peter's roll.
All minions get +1, so that's
Look
exciting.
at that. They're already singing my tales. Heroic charge.
Oh my god!
The Forbidden Mountain.
They know of you well.
The unknown paladin that charged 10 in.
All right. Let's go.
Okay, so he's choosing to fight the Dark or move into the Dark Lord space, which has a danger value of 0.
Am I not in the Dark Lord space?
You are.
Easy. Okay, cool.
I don't think you need to draw a card for that, do you?
Yeah. Oh, you technically would, but it's 0.
Oh, okay, I see.
So danger of 5 due to the actual darkness value. So you do not.
Well, it wasn't the -50 that I was hoping for. Oh, shit.
Roll that dice, man.
Strike at him.
Oh, some good rolls. We were close, folks.
Yeah, you contributed a good value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 8, 13.
You gave him a good stab.
You gave him a great stab. So that is the Dark Lord.
like it. I like it. This game kind of evokes the feeling of like really old school D&D or like those other similar
Yes.
tabletop games where it's like
Mm-hmm.
the whole shtick is that it's stupidly hard, but in a charming way. And I gotta say,
Yeah,
pretty
where
charming.
like the magic circle of play in the game requires that you accept some unfairness.
Mhm.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I don't.
No, Mark, please.
I don't agree with any of that. I think that this has been a lot of fun because we're all goofing off with it, which is which what some people will do. But also, we knew we were a little time constrained, so we kind of rushed, and we knew that wasn't smart, and we kind of made the most of it. We kind of made our own version of this game as a result. Once we realized that it was kind of broken, we kind of just were like, well, let's just have fun with it then, and then it became fun. But I feel like if someone is invested early on, and then that twist happens where suddenly everything is too hard, or one person goes down on one end of the map and spends the next 20 turns just drawing card after card of encounters and, only ever corrupting the team or whatever. I feel like there's almost no way that's going to feel good,
Yeah.
unless
Mark,
you really engineer a play style the way we did,
Yeah, and I think that's a good question because I think Mark's experience being down was very different from Phil and Joe's experience being down.
Yeah,
Great.
I almost wish that there was something to do. If
I
you
also
have
wasn't
to be
down for that
a
long
while,
in
but
the
I know
middle of the
that's
game.
very
Like,
difficult to design, right? To just put in.
Well, you mentioned the old school D&D, and you would just create a new character when you
That's
died,
true.
right?
Yeah, maybe we just restart at the village
Like
and
you
you're
wipe
finished
out all your
from
XP, pull a new card, and you
well,
restart.
also you have to think about what's the point of it. Like, why not just you're down for 2 turns? Like, what why? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what's the goal of
maybe.
downing a player if you don't kill them? It's the goal is to prevent them from taking risks, right? So you need to punish them for taking risks. So what's an appropriate punishment for charging in to a situation that's too dangerous, like in a game like this? And what's too much a punishment, right? Like the character doesn't have to die. They could lose all their experience. They could lose one of their items. They could, they could go back 2 squares or whatever. Like it was an old, and obviously that doesn't really make sense here, but. Or they could have every time they get defeated, they have like a curse on them or something until a certain amount of time. Then the bigger consequence. Like there's lots of different ways you could do it, I guess.
Yes.
I think the downing and reviving is fundamentally flawed because the map is sprawled out. So we're encouraged to split up, but then we learn quickly that way lies madness, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like so like keeping the group together versus like going separate ways both seem like they have benefits. But if you go separate ways and you get punished for it, then it's like you have messed up, and it seems as though it costs you so much that it is like non-recoverable. Like it is the choice that like makes you lose. So yeah, I totally agree with that part.
I also think those relics being out on dead ends kind of encourage to separate because
Yeah, you
don't
divide and
want
conquer.
3 players going after the same relic and only for safety, and I think that kind of slows down. Especially, it seems like the warrior, he can hold 3 relics, but I mean even getting one seems like a stretch. And I really wanted one because they seemed really cool. And I think there's almost like a barrier to get into that really cool part of the game where you get powerful and you're really powerful, but you're fighting really hard enemies, and that's where it kind of fell with me. Aside on top of the getting knocked out, kind of really slows things down for you.
You got some like spots on the board there, just like +3 scrying. I wonder if the gentleman who's making this game, I'm sorry, I guess I don't know anything about the person who's making this game, but if that individual wanted to like soften the like split up the party mechanic, I suppose they could have a like revival shrine or something where you could visit someplace in the mountains and revive somebody across the map if you really wanted to.
Oh, that's really good.
I mean, that kind of fits in with the lore too, right?
One of the things I really liked about the game when we started was this idea of risk versus reward. Like you can move this amount of spaces, but it's more dangerous. Now we didn't really know the nature of that danger right away, but I think what might work better is if all of these spaces were worth 1 danger, and you could move as much as you wanted on a turn. Do you know what I mean? Because you want to really hammer home to the player. Because for the most part, we mostly went 2 or 3. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I had 4 I could go, and I mostly went 2 or 4. That mechanic, which seems so promising, because like I want the player to be punished for being reckless, but it seems like in the way it played out, the player was punished never or always. I want to have a little more control over how much danger I was under. Like having the corruption, and it just suddenly made it. I had less say in how risky my behavior was after a while. You know, and I would like to be able to say, like, I'm going to move 8 turns, and let's just say in this version 8 is like the highest, or one of the highest things, guaranteed destruction or whatever, because I'm gambling that one item I have will save me, and then I fall. Then I'm going to feel like, oh, I made the risk, I took the bet, and then I wouldn't be frustrated, even if I had to sit out a couple turns. It wouldn't bother me as much.
Yeah, I like that idea. I wonder if, like what you said, I wonder if every space would need to be a one challenge space with that, or maybe like most of them are, but then the ones, you know, closer to the relics are higher numbers, like they
or
are
just
now.
the relic itself is worth 3 or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
You know, because so much of it is random that I just feel like I never have any agency over. I'm always rolling the die rather than making choices. So the results,
Yeah.
I never feel attached to the results, whether it was good. So my first couple turns, I was like, I moved all 4 of my spaces for like 4 turns in a row and never suffered any ill consequences, and that didn't feel great either. You know,
I think that randomness really is kind of like not necessarily an inherent design aspect of these kinds of games, but it's certainly like it has its appeal, I think, with a lot of people.
You do
like,
need a little bit of it, yeah.
But yeah, I suppose, you know, it can lead to frustration for sure. And I felt a bit of that, of course, trying to scale the mountain.
Yep.
But the core of my complaint is that it's not that the game's too hard; it's that the difficulty is not really related to my actions. You know.
Yeah.
Really good feedback. I think one of the biggest things I also really enjoyed that you guys said almost off the bat was that this was fun and it was just shenanigans, which is where this game really is headed towards. Yep. So to have
I'm sorry, go ahead. Well, I was just gonna throw out that like it's such like it's such, we were talking about this the other day with regard to like how much stakes do you want to have. The fact that they went out and tried to do this like crazy thing and got super punished for it was really funny. Like I'll be thinking about this game like a month from now, I'm sure, just because of how high impact of a thing that was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't want in a way for the mechanics of the game to this drastically punish people for doing fun, crazy, adventurous things. And so if there were a way for us to like have some way of interacting with these people or to like soften that somehow, I think it would be a positive because I want to see more funny stuff like that.
I think that's
I was gonna comment on the what's it called, like the barricade here that we established. On my first reaction was like, oh, this is terrible, but I honestly like I kind of liked that this happened because it was, you know, the schadenfreude that it made of like, oh, we've been trying to scale this mountain for so long and now we won't
let me ask
be able
you,
to leave. Like,
on
it's
you.
hilarious.
Where is the card that releases that?
It's actually a relic.
Oh, okay. That's got to go because like the two of you chose your fate in a comedy way, which sort of that's almost proof that like I think at a certain point we were all like nothing mattered anymore. But you didn't have to be trapped, right? The problem is that it could have easily been that one of you was trapped because it was, you know, it's at a dead end. Like if you have that barricade, you cannot have any dead ends in this game because or someone just uses an action to remove a barricade like it's healing or something. Because waiting for that relic that's a preposterous ask of the rest of the team.
Yes, and there are multiple balance issues still.
I mean, I don't think it's that crazy that there's a barrier thing in this game. I mean, one of my favorite board games of all time is wildly punishing a dungeon quest. And you can die on the first turn. Yeah, that's just the game. And I love that. So I understand, but that's fun for me. Like, hey, let's all play this game. Sit down, and I just die the first turn. Now I'm just watching them play. I'm like, okay, I enjoy that the flip of the madness, I guess, if you will. Of like, you could either go really well or horrible.
The like Phil, I'm curious, does it matter at all as a Dungeon Quest player that I like totally respect, if like in this situation, imagine if Joey had been one unit ahead of you and then you had been the one who triggered this, so through no fault of Joey's own he becomes trapped and can't get out. Does that change it for you at all, or is that still like within the realm of like just the luck of the dice?
That doesn't really change. I would have gone with Joey I would always
It would
have
have
gone
been
with
even
Joey.
earlier.
But it's like there in Dungeon Quest there's like a mechanic where I've never seen it happen where there's no way you're gonna win, right? There's no way possibility, but there's a relic in the game that will auto win, but it's a 1 in however many cards are in there, and then you also have to roll 2 6s to get it. But there is a chance to success.
There's always a chance.
Always a slim chance. In this game, I guess the biggest problem was that it felt like there was the slightest bit of chance until I really saw more of the game. And now seeing all of it, there is no actual like slight chance of success no matter what.
Actually, I feel like we could have won. I think this game is actually really easy. It's just we were impatient. Partly because we're in a time constraint, but I feel like the way to win is, I wouldn't say it's obvious, but like I feel like we could have done it. It just would have been boring.
Yeah, the grind.
But I feel like irrespective of our skill or strategy, I feel like we could have easily won this game. It just would have taken forever, and we wouldn't have liked it.
Got it.
I mean, if you're guaranteed to die, I mean, I almost like it because of the way we kind of found the fun in this. It would be great if it's just like the game is unwinnable by design, and the goal is to see like how soon you can make it unwinnable, or you know what I mean. I mean there's a lot of thematic changes and mechanics and updates there, but there's something to that to like engineer that kind of result, or like, but hoping that it forms naturally as a result of the game's frustrations, I feel is dangerous.
The higher the numbers on the Dark Lord, the more risk the team has to take, and the less that like boring strategy would work. So I'm sure the designer's thinking about that sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess it depends on play style to a certain point, but I feel like there's enough randomness that I feel like just slow walking your way to a victory doesn't feel like risk or strategy. But as soon as you take any risk, then it becomes serious risk. There's not like, it doesn't seem like there's not a lot of little risk you can take. You know
I'm so mad that this exists.
Yeah,
what the hell?
I would have loved for this to be on the top of the Forbidden Mountain. Could you imagine?
That would have been great. Yeah.
Amazing.
Let's find out.
So hard.
We can see.
No, it's not. It's an actual one, but that would have been amazing.
I would have changed all. If that was the nothing, I would have changed all my criticism. This would be my favorite game.
The good news is that all of those things are randomized. So
it's literally that meme where like the friendship, and then everyone died along the way, but friendship, like in the treasure chest.
It's just a note that this friendship.
Yeah.
Actually, having the relics be known, like all the relics are in a specific place, lets you do some level design, and then lets players take a risk to go down the dangerous path because they know the sword of whatever is at the end of it.
Yeah.
And again, giving players more agency over the risk
Yeah.
they're taking lets the failures feel less punishing or less random or less, less, a cruel universe,
Or even just randomizing them and revealing like a few at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, or even revealing all of them, but randomizing them would be good. Because then the experience would be different every time.
A lot of different ways of that balancing in terms of just like, apparently the first iteration of the game was that these tokens were just random tokens. So you would just draw the top card of the deck, as opposed to having an assigned exact one. Functionally they're the same, but it becomes right, like you said. There's more agency in your decisions, knowing that like this sword is over here. I don't know exactly which one it is, but this one. It's this sword specifically.
Yeah, like this game has such an interesting like premise, and really the numbers are not even the problem. It's about the player experience and the risk reward stuff. That's where it needs the work. The balancing, I don't think actually is, even though that's the way we experienced our frustrations, I don't think that's this game's problem at all.
Yep. It is definitely 100% all about the player feel, and you guys found your own fun in the game, which I think is where the target audience for this is.
To the
But-
mechanic that you were having us test, which was, I believe, us all moving at the same time and resolving at the end, I thought that was pretty good, even though we only played them one round, one at a time. I think that feels good. There's nothing chaotic about it. I mean, a little bit maybe, but like, it also doesn't feel too fast or too slow. I think that's a good tweak.
Yeah, I like that.
I think it definitely, one thing that threw me off about that is it changes how you take your turns a little bit.
Yeah,
Because if it's one at a time, somebody goes down, somebody can then plan their turn to go help them instead. Whereas if it's at the same time, you don't get that. It just adds it.
Right.
It's a
You're
little bit different
interleaving.
dynamic. Then it's not just making the game faster. There is different decisions, which I didn't realize right at first until we actually did it.
And there are some cards that kind of assume that you're doing it one at a time, like active player and
Yes.
stuff. But that can be tweaked, I think, to service that thing. I think that's a thing. I would say don't make it optional. Make it one or the other. It's because enough things are affected by it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I personally didn't find it as fun as it would be, but I think if you did go with that, you could lean into it a little bit more with some of the mechanics. Nothing strikes me off the top of the head, but having things where it matters that people are choosing cards at the same time and not knowing what other people are choosing or having to make a blind decision without having information about other people's turns. And I think that could make that a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah.
I would say, and one of my biggest drawbacks on this game is that when you play it one turn at a time, there is that more strategic element of like, oh, well, the healers can go immediately heal, the other people can go and go questing and stuff and such. Yeah, that does add like an hour or so of game time to this game, which is something that I think for something this light and enjoyable and just like being like shenanigans in terms of a game, I don't think we want to play that for 2 hours. Am I wrong in this?
You know,
Yeah,
you're
that's
right
fair.
that's strategic play because we all had different classes or different abilities, but I never thought about that. If we were playing one by one, I would think more about my role on the team.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, having not played it that way fully, I don't know that that's valuable enough to me. Which maybe means characters shouldn't have classes. You know, maybe we
I
should
was
all
gonna
have
say
the
it
same.
comes a lot. It presents itself as a longer, more serious game, and I think in the aesthetics aside, but also the cards having abilities, like the warrior having be able to have 3 relics, where it doesn't seem like you're gonna get much. Whereas you could, if the abilities were a little bit more goofy and just had things be a little bit more random and fun, you could definitely lead into that, and I think it'd be interesting.
Did they
yeah,
ever- sorry.
Maybe the thing just, I mean, I know it's fantasy based and everything with fantasy needs a million numbers, but like if you look at the danger value and the attack value on a lot of the enemies, they're roughly the same. They're pretty close. Why isn't it just one number? I know that's simpler, but then also, again, you would then be able to know what you're in for a little bit. Like, you know, I feel like I can take on a 7-level danger, you know, rather than hoping that you don't draw a 7-level danger with a 10, which you can't handle, you know. Just fewer things, and then you can focus on the movement and the goofiness and the tripping over yourself and getting revived, which if that became more of a core part of the experience, I could see that being really fun and silly. But then you probably need to get rid of a lot of the other stuff that the game has.
Did they ever contemplate like incentivizing like group and individual play, like grouping up lowers the danger for the group, and then like being an individual makes you faster or something? I don't know.
that'd
Did
be
they ever
interesting,
contemplate that kind of?
I
Because I never
honestly
felt
don't
like
know.
I never saw the advantage except for the healing being in a group. Did they ever,
I had an ability that was anyone next to me can do something fun.
Oh, okay. So something like that does exist already. Okay.
Yeah, but maybe I could have done a better job of trying to like let people know that was a good idea. But it's actually kind of very specific. Whenever an effect could cause you or an adjacent hero to draw another encounter card, ignore that effect. That never came up for me personally. I know a couple other players had that once or twice.
Yeah, I got
but that's
ambushed once.
Yeah, it's not a powerful enough ability, but I don't know. I mean, but I would like the idea of there being a guaranteed effect when you travel in a pair or something, or maybe you move slower, but you know you can combine your strength. So you can pretty much kill anything, but you have to tiptoe. You know, again, making more choices about the risk you're taking.
Yeah, I really like the idea of combined strength because it's a mechanic that's there for the Dark Lord, but why is it not there for other combat? So
yeah. Then you don't have to explain how the Dark Lord works once you get there.
Exactly.
You know how it works. That's very good.
Yeah. Okay. Any other notes, please? This has all been really fun to just to watch.
I think the having the relics revealed, I think would do one thing that other things could do. But the reason I like it is because it makes the map like the map isn't random. It's the same board every time. But why am I going to go up instead of down? You know what I mean? Like, give me a reason to go somewhere other than maybe that the total danger on that path is 2 less or whatever. I don't want to do the counting for that, frankly. But it's like, do I go for that relic or that relic? Or do I know there's a certain monster in these hills that I know will give me 2 experience points, so I'm going to go for it? Or, like, give me a reason to go one way or the other, basically. So more level design, really.
Yeah. So here's actually a random question that I think I'd like to hear people's thoughts on. Is that, how would you feel about a modular board? Just straight up.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I love
I mean, I feel like if I were to play this, like, 3 times, then the modular board would, renew my my interest.
If it only changes the path, but nothing else, then it's neither here nor there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it would basically be represented by like either square cards, hexagon, or whatever, like those discs that have variant paths and numbers oriented on them. And what you would do is that those numbers and paths would line up as you played them. So you basically would be exploring your way to Dark Lord.
Oh, so revealing it.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yep. Or you could preset it, and then of course you put all the relics appropriately in like the center of the card, which would be, again, have several paths that go to and from them. And so it would create less dead ends, or some of them would have dead ends on them still, but but basically yes. My thought is just the static board versus modular board feedback.
Wait, are you saying like half modular, where like towards the castle's undiscovered, or like?
It would be yeah. So it would be either
the whole thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I hope you were taking notes, Peter.
He can watch the.
You watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took some notes, but I honestly feel like I'm glad to see that the thing that I was testing with simultaneous play does function. There's a little bit of balancing and things, tweaks that need to get made. I don't know for it to function fully, but that cut off so much time of this game because I played a few player game.
The consequences of it, though, like just
yeah,
because it's really is. I think it's really good. It's just what of the game does it fight against? Yeah. That you would want to keep.
My thought is not too many. Yeah, but again, not my game. But I'm so glad you guys enjoyed and took the time to play this. This is, again, a game designed from somebody all the way in Australia. So they have different thoughts and different ways to play. And I was so curious to see how everyone here reacted to it. And I was very happy to see people just immediately fall into character, and it was like, Phil.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna not RP in a fantasy game. I RP in Dungeon Quest all the time.
Yeah, this was fun.
Well, thanks for the folks who stuck around too, because this was we went way over time, which we do from. I think when we have a board game, it's just inevitable. But you can't cut it off early. You got to get it all out there, and you have to go defeat the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
Of course, you gotta at least try. Give it a stab.
Yeah, you have to. Lane, the last man standing, has to give it 1 stab.
Did it though?
Exactly one.
Yeah.
13 damage.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Be a good ending for that game is whoever gets the Dark Lord first and dies, that they're the winner.
The real winner.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Very well. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.
Thanks,
you
folks.
too.
Thank you so much.
For
See ya.
the few who stuck around this long, thank you for watching with us. For anyone watching later on YouTube, I think Dale, you read off some of the questions for some of the devs, which is nice, way to preserve the chat. But otherwise, we'll see you next month. We're gonna start at 6:30. Starting next month, all the IDGTC events are going to we're standardizing our start times. So we're going to start at 6:30, but I think we'll find a way to get that message to more people that might actually get it before next month. So thanks again, Lane and Dale, for co-hosting as always, and Lane, of course, for doing all the work in organizing and recruiting games to play. It was a fun one.
Yeah, thank you, Lane.
Yeah, and you for solving so many technical problems today. Thank you, Mark.
You're a Mark.
There's always a couple. Yep. That's the way it goes. And so, like we do every month, we're going to stop the stream as soon as Dale says her closing thoughts.
Do not pity the dead, Harry. Pitying the living, and above all, those who live without love.